Good morning, you beauties. Yes, laugh along because it's a Monday and we've got to laugh. That's all you can do. Welcome from my side. My name is Graham Richards.
Good morning. My name is Ewan Straderman. It's wonderful to be with you on a fresh Monday morning. Winter's back in Cape Town just for a little bit.
What happened?
What happened? Where did it come from? But we're here. We are here and we are about to start the week off on just the right note. It's always lekker hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
morning, my brother.
Yeah, morning, my boy.
Thank you.
It was an amazing weekend. I know from a sporting perspective, lots to catch up around the water cooler today. So we're going to get through as many of your weekend highlights. Of course, we've got the rugby action against Wales. Plenty of rugby action there. Absolutely.
What a game.
Khaleesi back to his best. Then, of course, we've got the small matter of the FIFA Women's World Cup final. España, they've done it. The Dark Horses, they were called out before the weekend as being this hoodoo side that could do anything. Well, they did it. They beat the Lionesses. They are the champions of the world.
That's fantastic. It was such an exciting World Cup as well in that space. So, yeah, we've got all the highlights for you. So stick around for that. Then, if you are keen for a fun walk in aid of charity, look no further than Blisters for Bread. We know them as a fantastic organization, and one such individual joining in on the action is singer Noor Abrams, who will be entertaining us this morning as well and taking us through his experience and why he decided to jump on board.
He is one of the sweetest human beings.
He is.
I've had such amazing conversations as an MC while he's about to perform.
Yeah.
The things, the little gems he's told me, what he's doing with his people, he is absolutely amazing. So if you're a big fan, stick around. We're going to give you your just rewards. And then finally, today's show is all about the overrated, the overpicked, and the most ridiculous things, from plastic surgery to trends that have died down, thankfully, and then other trends that are oh so big at the morning. I hope we don't fit into that bracket.
Oh,
man.
my friend, listen, there's so much out there. It's like there's a lot that's overrated. And yeah, we would also like to hear from you as well, but we'll get into that conversation a little bit later. Right now, let's say good morning to the third member of our epic team this morning, Mr. Carl Wasty.
So a lot of bromance there, hey, and I'm sitting here, standing here alone, you know, nobody to bromance with, but it's fine. I'm with you. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. My name is indeed Carl Wasty, and you know what? There are things that happen to us, you know, a big trend, and we just had to get on it. We had to get a fidget spinner, all right? And then fidget spinners were in every single goodie bag you'd go to. Every single place you go, there's a fidget spinner in there. How about the House Party app? Do you remember when we used to drive around our neighborhoods trying to catch Pokemon? What? Where are those things? But of course, some things are meant to trend, and some trends are meant to die. However, today, I want you to tell me, what do you think shouldn't be a thing anymore? In fact, reminisce on some of the stuff that we jumped into, no matter how crazy, and bring it back. Recall it for us in 063-408-8863. We'd love to unpack that with you a little later on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, talking about trending, there are some trending news stories from around the world, and Ewan has all of them.
Thank you, Mr. Wasty. Let's take a look at those news headlines at 6 o'clock. Starting off with your national news headlines on this Monday morning, President Cyril Ramaphosa says SA's foreign policy stance since the advent of democracy has made it a reliable diplomatic partner. Now, addressing the nation ahead of the 15th BRICS summit last night, Ramaphosa said SA was committed to a policy of non-alignment and would not be drawn into a contest between global powers. He reiterated the call by the BRICS bloc for an inclusive global order. Now, the summit gets underway in Santon, Johannesburg tomorrow. China's President Xi Jinping, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Brazil's President Lula da Silva will attend the summit, while Russia's President Putin will be joining remotely. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa has said South Africa will be keeping a close eye on the developments in West Africa. Now, this follows last month's coup in Niger and the refusal of the military junta to reinstate President Mohamed Bazoum, despite the fact that regional leaders have decided to respond with force should diplomatic efforts fail. Now, Ramaphosa said the 23 South Africans stranded in Niger would be evacuated if necessary. And continuing with that story, making international news headlines, the leader of the military coup in Niger has proposed a 3-year transition period to civilian rule. Now, General Abdurrahmane Chiani made this announcement after a meeting with mediators from the West African group ECOWAS. Strict sanctions have been imposed on Niger since the coup, and ECOWAS has ordered its support forces to be deployed in diplomatic efforts to restore President Mohamed Bazoum's to office fail. Now, Chiani said Niger would protect itself from any form of foreign interference. He described threats to kill thousands of people as an attempt to create division between citizens. And Russia's unmanned 800-kilogram Luna 25 spacecraft has crashed into the moon after spinning out of control. Now, it was Russia's first moon mission in almost 50 years. The craft was due to be the first ever to land on the moon's south pole, but failed after encountering problems shortly before landing. It was set to explore a part of the moon which could hold frozen water. Now, Russia was racing to the moon's south pole against India, whose Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft is scheduled to land there in the coming days. And we'll end up with this story. The director of the Center for Social Justice at Stellenbosch University, Thuli Madonsela, is to lead a fundraising walk of some 300 kilometers. Now, the walk from Stellenbosch to Cape Agulhas spans 13 days and is aimed at paying off students' historical debt. The former public protector says the walk symbolizes the challenging path that some students must follow in their pursuit of education. Madonsela was recently appointed as the new external member of the United Nations Scientific Advisory Board. Madonsela, who has also scaled Mount Kilimanjaro, will be joining an esteemed group of external members from top universities around the world. We'll definitely follow that story for more. That's your news headlines for the 6 o'clock bulletin on your Monday morning. We'll be back at 7 right now, though. Here's a first look at your sports, and there's a lot happening.
Thank you so much. You're in a massive weekend at sport. Let's start with the biggest. It's football, and Spain made history with their first ever Women's World Cup victory. That as captain Olga Carmona's goal secured a very hard-fought and nervy 1-0 win against England on Sunday. A crowd of nearly 76,000 packed into Sydney's stadium. Australia saw Spain's dominant display, creating chances and surviving a missed penalty in the second half just to compound the nerves. And the success highlights Jorge Vilda's coaching and the federation's determination enduring player challenges from the previous year. The team came together and they did it when it mattered most. Incredible. Now we can turn to the Rugby World Cup and, of course, commencing their 78-day European odyssey. The Springboks launched emphatically, dismantling, I think, a very inexperienced Welsh team with 8 tries for a 52-16 triumph, sitting 24-9 at half-time. That was, of course, playing out at Cardiff's Principality Stadium on Saturday. South Africa's largest Cardiff victory, in fact, surpassing the 34-12 win back in 2007. That also led to a World Cup. Now witnessed their highest points in the Welsh capital, beating that previous best of 38, and I think showcasing their formidable performance and some great synergy between the players. Now the Springboks head to London, gearing up for a crucial Friday test against New Zealand at Twickenham. Hopefully the perfect start to our preparations, and of course great to see Siya Kolisi back at his best. Now unfortunately the same can't be said as we turn to athletics of Akani Simbine. His undefeated streak among world sprinting's elite came to a halt in Budapest World Championships yesterday as disqualification followed a false start during the semi-finals. Heartbreaking. Now the South African, renowned for his rather slow starts and then very impressive top-end speed, initiated just a fraction too soon in the second semi-final. He joined significant casualties in so doing, including US defending champion Fred Curdy and Italy's Olympic victor Lamont Jacobs, who also missed advancement to the evening's final. Terrible not to see the three of the best battling it out, but that's how it ended. And then we turn to motorsport for a great South African connection. Claiming a notable position, Brad Binder secured second place at the Austrian MotoGP yesterday. Then Italy's Francesco Bagnaia, he emerged victorious. And although Binder exhibited some brilliant early vigor, he lacked the velocity to contest the Ducati for that top spot. Marco Bezzecchi then clinched a third position on that podium. Then Saturday's sprint race also saw Binder in second, trailing Bagnaia. With these outcomes, Binder now currently occupies 4th slot in the season rankings. And I think he's only going to get better. Great South African connection this weekend. We are here for that. But right now, we are here for the start of a brand new week and, of course, some crazy weather. Let's get the latest.
Thank you, G. Let's take a look at your weather. Starting with weather news, the SA Weather Service has issued a yellow level 4 warning for wind leading to difficulty in navigation at sea, expected from today and continuing into Wednesday morning between Table Bay and Cape Agulhas. But from Cape Agulhas to Plettenberg Bay only on Wednesday. A yellow level 2 warning was issued for waves resulting in disruption of small harbours and ports from this afternoon between Cape Columbine and Plettenberg Bay, spreading to Alexander Bay by evening and persisting through to Wednesday. The Weather Service has also also said that extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over the northwest province, the northeastern parts of the Northern Cape, and most parts of the Free State, as well as the uThukela, Amajuba, Umzinyathi, as well as Zululand district municipalities of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as over the Sarah Baartman and Chris Hani district municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Let's take a look at your temperatures. And starting off in Polokwane, as always, 14 rising to 30 for you, Polokwane. Good morning, Bombela. 14 to a very summery 36 degrees Celsius. Pretoria, you can expect 15 as you wake up, nice and warm, and even warmer later. 30 is your maximum. Johannesburg, you can expect 28 to top your temperatures. 12 is your minimum. Then Mahikeng, you wake up to 8 degrees Celsius, and you are up to 31 as a max. Later, Klerksdorp, you're also up to 31 from a low of 7. Kimberley, a bit more chilled for you. 23 degrees Celsius, your max from a low of 8, and then Bloemfontein 5 rising to 23. Richards Bay, good morning, 17 up to 32. Summer is saying hi. Pietermaritzburg 7 to 31. Durban 16 to 26. And Mthatha, you've got 8 on the cards this morning. 28 is how you thaw out a little later. Emonti, East London, waking you up is 11 degrees Celsius, 26 later. Cradock 4 to 24. Gqeberha, you've got 10 to 21, and then George 9 up to 19. Cape Town, the mother city, 12 to 16. Chances of rain if it's not raining already. Worcester also rain for you, a 78% chance, 7 to 14. Sutherland, very, very chilly with some rain. -1 is your morning temperature. 9 is what you get to later. And then Uppington 6 up to 22. That's it for the temperature, so you have an idea of what to wear. But let's see how you wake up in the morning with incredible sunrises. And we love your views. So let's take a look at them. Marina is going to start you off in Edenvale, showing off sunrise views from her window. And we can tell, I mean, the lens needed a wipe. But the thing is, this concept is still there, and I love it. Then let's go over to Margaret in Kenville, looking through the palm trees, peeking to watch the horizon change colors. Margaret seems like she's on holiday, but of course, sometimes that's the way you should be starting your week, with that type of attitude. Then Willie in Pinetown on his yacht nogals, enjoying a morning cruise. I mean, that's a flex, Willie, let's be honest. That is, but I'll allow it for now. Invite us on next time, please. Thank you. And then Joe in Amanzimtoti, up in her apartment overlooking the stunning, calm ocean, beautiful views. Another flex. If your apartment has that view, clearly that rent is high, or you are just a fortunate person and you deserve that view. I'm going to go for the latter. Now, please share your views with us anywhere you can on social media, or 063-408-8863. We'd love to see how you start your day. I'm just glad you start your day with us.
It's wonderful to start, especially a fresh week with you as well. We're going to take our very first ad break. Your Monday morning is now officially underway. When we come back, we chat through a little bit of what we got up to over this weekend, and we would love to know from you as well. Did you get up to anything interesting? Maybe something out of the norm as well? Connect with us on our social media feeds. We'll get into that after the break. And then also, of course, we've got all the rugby action. Sports anchor Jody Hendricks is here to run us through that epic match between Springboks and Wales. Stick around for all of that and more on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning, right here on S3.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's my feel good.
The Breakfast Show, Expresso here, S3, and of course, naturally, you get up to some crazy things over the weekend, some amazing things, and you and I have done the same.
Yeah,
We've
for
had
sure.
A lovely weekend, and we want to share with you because it's not okay for us to just ask you to share. We have to share too.
We
right?
have to share.
Yeah.
I mean, a weekend is there to just do something fun, get out there, maybe do a little bit of work. I don't care what. But you know what? We had a good weekend. I had a very chilled weekend. It was all about the family. It was all about the kids. And my youngest, Dominic, he actually took part in his very first Stedford. We had to go say a poem in front of judges.
You're going to make me cry.
I know, and it was such a big
Also, your
moment because
kid
he was
is-
practicing his
man.
little poem, you know, for the last couple of weeks. Okay, hang on. Okay.
Oh, the crocodile went to the dentist and sat down in the chair, and the dentist said, "Now tell me, sir, why is it hurt and where?" Then the crocodile said, "I'll tell you the truth, I have a tooth ache in my tooth." And he opened his jaw so wide, then the dentist he climbed right inside. Then the dentist laughed, "Oh, isn't this fun?" and he pulled the teeth out one by one. But the crocodile cried, "You're hurting me, so please put down your pliers and let me go." But the dentist just laughed, ho, 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 and he said, "I still have 12 to go." Oops, that's the wrong one, I confessed. But what's wrong with crocodiles too? More or less, then suddenly jaws will snap, and the dentist was gone right off the map. And where he went, one could only guess. To the north or south or east or west. He left no further address, but what's one dentist, more or less?
Oh, come on, man. Oh, we were so proud. We were so proud. And my other boy, Kian, he was so supportive as a big brother. It was just such a beautiful moment. He was so nervous, but that was
Did not
definitely
look
a highlight.
nervous.
I know.
Remembering all of that,
It was a long poem.
like I mean, you and I need like tablets and auto cue. This one just like did
like
an
that.
essay, just like
that. No.
What?
No, so that was the
Wow.
highlight of my weekend. And
Congrats,
I think thank you very much, man. That was
Yo.
well done, Dom. We're proud of you, my boy.
I'm proud of you. Sure. So this weekend I was a part, and I'm part of this. Okay, there we go. Why would that be your first picture, producers?
Because that's the only picture they could get,
Gee whiz,
obviously.
Why would you do that? Okay, so I was on stage at something at Grand Arena. This is something called High School Jam.
Oh, cool.
It is the biggest sort of high school talent show ever. And it's, you know, there's so many different schools competing. There are 10 of them. And all they needed to do is come up with a great performance to do an original song to connect to unity and community. So I think that was the great thing. This is myself and Keanu Harker on stage in front of 5,000 people. He let me sing. Yes, I don't know why, but he let me sing in this little thing. Fantastic. It was all about the kids. It's about showing them that they deserve that stage.
I love that.
Importantly, talent connected. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm not,
You do
thank
look,
you. Cut
you
it
do
there.
look like a rock star, dude.
Yes,
Well done.
It was
Well
so
done.
cool.
That looked like a lot of fun, though.
It was really a beautiful opportunity to just connect. And I think it wasn't a competition format this year. Usually it's a competition format. But, you know, COVID separated us so much that we wanted the schools to get together. It was the first time we did it since COVID. And we wanted the schools to get together and say, doesn't matter what school you go to, what circumstances, or no matter what resources you have, your talent, your musical sort of talent as well, should all just be connecting as opposed to separating people.
Absolutely.
So well done to all of the 10 high schools. You did so well. I'm so proud of every single one of the performers, the teachers, the parents who supported it, and everybody who filled the Grand Arena for one cause, that is to support the youth and their talent. So thank you so much for having me once again, being a part of that. I loved it.
Nice, man. Well, it definitely seems that our cups are filled.
Yes, indeed.
After this weekend. And I hope
Sure.
yours as well. We'd love to hear from you as well, what you got up to on the weekend as well. Maybe something interesting, maybe something fun, maybe something out of the norm as well. Connect with us on our social media pages. Always love to hear from you, our Feel Good fam.
Thank you so much, gents. Absolutely beautiful stuff to see. Keep yours coming. I'll tell you what I got up to this weekend. We watched a lot of sports and a resounding statement ahead of the upcoming Rugby World Cup. The Springboks showcased their prowess and a bit of a click in Cardiff this past Saturday. They dominated the field, overwhelming a pretty youthful and very inexperienced Welsh team with a staggering 52-16 victory, our biggest in Wales. In fact, and this triumph stands as their most decisive win ever achieved in Cardiff. of serving as a potent indicator of the capabilities as we gear up to defend our World Cup title over the coming weeks. And he had a chat about the game and what it means is for our World Cup journey is sports anchor Jody Hendricks. Jody, thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're still chewing on all of the possible permutations because there is a lot riding on these preparation games. Never mind the possibility of injury or yellow and red cards and actually missing World Cup games, which I don't think a lot of coaches have been thinking about clearly. In terms of getting the kick right, that worked for us. Before we get on to Gatland's side, the Springboks, I mean, Jacques must be happy.
Fantastic. I think the lock pairing of Ergens Neyman and Jean Klein, who both play for Munster and Ireland, were fantastic. I think Jaden Hendricks, his first game for the Boks of the year, good performance. Manila Bok, even though he missed a couple of kicks, he played the game well. And then obviously, Keenan Moody, the man of the moment, putting pressure on Cheslin Colby for the starting number 14.
Sure.
And Willie Leroux distributing very well in the game. So I think a fantastic performance and putting a 50 past Wales.
Yeah, and in Wales, I mean, in that stadium, something else. There was a huge amount of expectation from Warren Gatland's side. Massive changes going into this. It kind of felt like a bit of a mistake from Wales' perspective because they knew they were going to probably get a pretty full-strength Springbok side looking to find that chemistry, those connections. There was zero chemistry, very few opportunities for individual players to put their hands up. They got smashed. What does Warren Gatland take out of this encounter?
Yeah, I think for him it was about resting his first choice players. Obviously not the result he wanted. He wanted to test a couple of players if they have what it takes to go to a World Cup. Today is the final day for teams to announce their World Cup squads, by the way. So I think he would have been looking at a couple of players. Obviously, Dan Bigger, big loss. I think the other guy, Cuthbert, also in the team, he didn't do well. So I think definitely lessons for him, but he'll be looking long-term for what he's planning for the World Cup starting in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and he'll be talking long-term. He'll be moving himself away from that result as quickly as he possibly can. One man who had to make a statement and did it pretty much with his first move with a beautiful line break, beautiful little deft pass over to score the first try, Siya Kolisi. You know, we know that he can take a game or two to get back to full strength. He took about a minute or two by the looks of it. That's from Jacques' perspective because we need him as that talisman. We need his IQ on the field, but you also need him bashing it up there and running freely. And it looked like he is enjoying his rugby at a peak now.
Coming back from an injury sustained in April, definitely a good 40 minutes by the Springbok captain, definitely giving Malcolm Marx the pass to go and score the box try. For the team running out against the All Blacks on Saturday, he'll probably get another 40-50 minutes and then he'll lead the team when they play against Scotland in their first World Cup game on the 12th of September. So great performance by the Springbok captain. He just needs more game time.
Just a little bit more muscle up front, which we love. And it looks like he's got the boys around him. I thought Peter Steph du Toit was just looking immense. Beware this man during a World Cup because I know he's got an itch to scratch, I think, with his own injury and the time that he's been off. There are a couple of players who always seem to get the raw end. And I'm going to say Damian Willemse, because he is this utility back who can play beautifully in almost any position. And he likes it. He embraces it. Yellow card, possibility of missing. How does he fit into our plans? Now, is he a starting player? Is he coming off the bench? How do you put him in this ecosystem? Because there is so much talent there.
Yeah, his versatility probably counts against him. He can play 10, 12, 15. I think at the moment, with only 2 fly-halves in the squad, Manila Bok will probably start most of the games and he'll be the backup fly-half. So I think that's the role they see him. Also coming in on maybe fullback for a couple of minutes inside centre. So he does give you that option. In terms of the yellow card, I think also the injury to his eye that he sustained in that high tackle might count against him for the All Black game, so we might see him getting a rest this weekend. So Damian Willemse, definitely, I don't see him starting a lot of games at the World Cup, but definitely making an impact off the bench.
He'll shine, he'll shine. Just very quickly, lastly, what do we need out of this All Black game? If we lose that game, is it the end of our World Cup campaign or does it light the fire? How does this play out?
No, I think it'll definitely be a couple of lessons for Jacques Nienaber to take out of that game. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more physical than the Welsh game this weekend. I think the All Black Springboks are always a physical affair. So I think they'll take each other up front and also the back line, getting them into space. So I think the All Blacks also peaking at the right time. So it's going to be a tough game. So hopefully they can through this coming Friday.
Yeah, I choose to see these things. We win, we get the winning momentum, we get the culture of winning, all that lovely stuff. If we lose, it just lights the fire for us to go out there even harder. Jody, enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here after a very busy sporting weekend. And I'm going to say congratulations one more time to Spain, who are the FIFA Women's World Cup winners. We'll delve into that a little bit later in the show, but still so much coming up. I'm telling you, in a show full of overrated things, you're not overrated. Jody is definitely not overrated.
As G mentioned, Vamos España will celebrate the FIFA Women's World Cup winners in the next couple of minutes. Plus, on social media, we've decided to go completely uncut and candid, not hold back anything. And you're going to see exactly what's on our feed in the form of Expresso's Uncut. Stay there.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the boss are betting for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win with rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back. You are with your feel-good kickstart for a brand new week, and there is plenty of feel-good going around, especially if you're Spanish. An unforgettable spectacle unfolded across Australia and New Zealand during the FIFA Women's World Cup, and celebrating the essence of women's football, which seems to have taken a quantum leap forward this year. And one of those teams that have done the same, Spain, emerged victorious, claiming their inaugural title with a very hard-fought and impressive 1-0 win over the Lionesses of England. In the match, I think the turning point obviously arrived with Olga Carmona's precision strike in the first half, a masterpiece that found its mark beyond Mary Earpson, securing Spain, of course, the triumph on the grandest stage of all in Sydney. And here to chat all about it is sports journalist Manga Zibonele. Manga, woohoo!
How's it?
Oh, buddy, we were hoping that this final was going to give us something fitting for the tournament.
Yes.
I didn't want penalties. I mean, penalties are just too nervy, and it puts all the pressure on individuals.
Yes.
We wanted a match to play out in full time, and we got it. Too much pressure on England's shoulder? Was this always Spain's to win? They had so much momentum coming into this. How have you wrapped your head around this final?
Well, Graham, I think that was their downfall, because, well, everyone bet on them to win, you understand? But yeah, it wasn't to be. And it reminds me I don't want to take away a women's sport, but it reminds me of 2010 South Africa when Spain won the World Cup. Yeah, so all those memories, they were there in New Zealand, and then Spain won. What a dramatic final! That is what we were expected. You know, we wanted to see that, and then we saw it. Thank you very much. That was a good final.
It was an amazing final, and so much strength of character shown as well.
Yes.
I think on both sides, this English team, they've come so close, so many times to top honours. So I really do feel for them because the press in England are just going to chew them up this week, and they don't deserve that. A massive Real Madrid, Carl, a massive Real Madrid connection to the Spanish side. I'm just going to put it out there. But let's talk about Olga Carmona. Now, apparently her father passed away during the World Cup.
That's amazing.
Captain, my captain, when you need your captain to stand up and not just be the leader, but also deliver the goods, she did that. She has made history. She is going to be remembered for generations.
You know, we'll remember every day. It reminds me of Jomo So, no, if I can just take you back to South Africa. I will always go back to South Africa and make it. Jomo So, he was getting married at the same time that Orlando Paris was playing. So after getting married, and then he jet off to play. So that captain is incredible, man. Receiving those bad news and still carry your country to the greener pastures, it was very amazing. And then we should applaud her, and then we should applaud all women in sport, because this month, it's Women's Month, and it's been special. It's been women's sports, from netball to soccer to everything. So, pick up to.
I absolutely love it. I keep calling 2023 the year of the woman, because this feels like a significant marker has been laid down in the sand. And when we think of what it means for young Spanish players, those coming through the ranks, to have their teams within the club context doing well, to have their country winning World Cups. When we talk about representation in sport, for the next 10 years, Spanish football is going to be on a different high. How important is it for a team to win a World Cup for the representation, for the development of the sport in that country? Just how big is this for Spain, do you think?
Graham, it's very big, and then we should give them whatever credit if we want to give them, because because they did well. So I think it will inspire young and upcoming female athletes, not only soccer athletes.
But across the board.
Yes, across the board, because you know, winning a World Cup for the first time after many years, you know, it's incredibly special. So I think that will make Spanish and the world female athletes to rise up and up and up.
And obviously you get the financial injection in the structures below that, which is something that we are quite interested in from a South African perspective.
Of course.
2027, I'm going to say it, we're going to get the World Cup, we will. Okay, we're going to say it, we will get that World Cup.
2010, Graham, we need that Mandela special. He's no longer around. I don't know. We need somebody who's going to inspire the world that they must bring the World Cup closer to Africa, South Africa, to be very, very politely. But we'll take it, even if it comes anywhere in Africa, in 2027. And then we've got 4 countries, of which 3 of them, they proceeded to the last 16 of the World Cup. It was very first time in the history.
For sure.
So they need to bring that World Cup here. We need to have that World Cup here in Africa.
Buddy, do you think, because it kind of feels almost an indictment, if we're going to be hosting a Women's World Cup on our shores, we need to have a professional women's league in our country. The fact that we are feeding the top tier of our football with varsity level sport. Take nothing away from the talent within varsity football. It's been a saving grace for us. Surely we should have a tournament here, even if it's just a T20 type vibe, 6 teams playing for 3 months. Surely we need to have a professional women's league in South Africa.
Yes, and then, Graham, we need those teams that are playing in professional football, PSL, they must have a women's team. We cannot have 2 teams out of 16 teams, only 2 who have a women's team. So to do that, we need that professional league, and we need those teams to have their women. We need Kaizer Chiefs. We need one of the Sundowns has a team, a female team. We need Kaizer Chiefs. We need all the parties to have those teams. So we need a competitive league so that we know that we are good. So
look, you know, Patrice has just put down his coffee, He's just gone, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. He just put down his coffee, and he is thinking about that leap. Patrice, come on, you can do this.
You
You
know,
can do this.
He's got all the money.
No, completely. We need to honor this quantum leap that,
Yes.
that women's sport has taken. The TV angles are there. The viewership is there on every front. We've seen the stadiums are being filled. We want a little taste of that here in South Africa. Manga, thank you so much for our
Thank you very
friend.
much,
Maybe Sia Khaleesi can be that unicorn to just bring
Yes.
that World Cup, that FIFA Women's World Cup to South African shores. We absolutely love it. But an amazing year for women's sport, capped by one of the best World Cups we've ever seen.
So true, and let's continue watching and supporting women's sport in general so the sponsors can come along and we can make a significant difference in the sporting community. Now, let's look at what's on Expresso's feed this morning while your Feel Good Breakfast Show comes to you live right here on S3. We're also live in the palm of your hand on all social media platforms, YouTube, as well as SABC+. But we have something for you which is quite new, quite fresh.
Absolutely, and we're excited about this one because today we're introducing you to a brand new segment that we've created for all of our digital platforms called Expresso Uncut.
And now this is where we take a look at some of your favorite celebrities, influencers, personalities, and put them in front of a camera. But it's really raw and uncut. And as you'll hear, some of the questions are designed to blindside. In fact, most of them are, which is the best way to find out who somebody really is.
Absolutely. So let's quickly now take a look at how Rashika Karim, she was on the show last week, spent her time on the Expresso Uncut seat.
Morning everyone, this is Rashika Karim speaking. I am a content creator, entrepreneur and a mommy, and I am on Expresso Uncut. I'm scared. Do you like going to the movies or prefer watching it at home? To be honest with you, I prefer watching the movie at home in front of a fireplace, and where I can be in bed by 10 because that baby doesn't allow me to sleep. So if me and the daddy have to go to the movies, we get home at 11. It just feels like we went out clubbing, and the next day we feel, I haven't drank in my life, but we feel babalas. What is something that you wished you had known or been told as a child? I wish I started saving money when I was the age of 18 already and not 30 years old. Interesting questions. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be and who would play you? It would be a comedy, a horror comedy. Would play you. Taraji. En sy is baie mal in die movies. Ek is net so mal in die regte lewe.
Yes, yeah.
You win. I'm tired.
Makes sense.
I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm done working. I'm done preaching, crying, praying, my knees are tired.
And thank you. That's all from me. Signing out, Rashika Karim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Shika. That was really, really great. And I'm looking forward to your one.
Oh, yeah?
Soon. Oh, yeah. Very, very uncut. It's going to be so good. But, we're loving it so much that we decided to just put it to you and say, hey, if you want to jump in here and have something to say, we'd love for you to get involved. And you did. So let's track through some of your comments. Uncut.
Here we go. Aklaviti Decor says, ha ha ha. Yes, Cookie. That woman is fire, and you are, and so are you. Missed that show.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Next up. We have Lamika Jordan saying, Jordan saying, Shika is the best in the business.
We can see that.
Thanks for your comments.
Samantha says, lol, love this. Yeah, that's exactly the reaction we had as well.
And then next one up is Shiam. We need a longer video. Preach. We tried to, but social media, the algorithm, man. Sorry, man.
Yeah, you got to keep it like a little pop of information right there, as people want to
nuggets, attention spans are minimized.
The nuggets.
Yeah.
All about the nuggets. And Asadullah says, nice, more like this, please. It's coming. It's coming.
There are so many more, trust me. And then there are a few more coming through to you as well. Fazila saying, this interesting questions. Oh, you thought those were interesting. Oh, there are others. There are so many more. You should just check it out. Oh, my word.
Yeah, no, keep an eye on it. Expresso Uncut. So let us know who you would want to see on the Expresso Uncut seat next time, and also let us know what you would actually ask them. It's always nice to get involved with you and get your questions asked to some of our favorite celebs.
Don't hold back, by the way. Please don't. This is your show. So remember to always connect with us via our social media platforms. That's at Expresso Show on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, and Facebook, as well as at Expresso SABC on YouTube. Use our hashtag Expresso Show and tag us in your photos, videos, and let us know what you want to see on air as well as online.
Now, if I could connect with anyone right now, I'd want to connect with some superstars from Umfuleni who are the street netball champions. And maybe, just maybe, we'll bring them into studio to do exactly that. Yeah, we're going to chat to Brad Bing from Sporting Chance about an incredible new netballing tournament initiative movement that has got people moving. And we'll get into a little netball street fitness as well. It's an intense version of the game. We've got the champions here and we're going to put you through your paces. Stick around.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back as we get inspired, and we want you to be just as inspired. Now, I love it when our top-tier teams dominate on the world stage.
Yep.
Yeah, that gives us the warm and fuzzy feeling. For me, the real triumph comes when you hit those development levels. And the triumph of the Umfuleni team, the champions of street netball, an incredible initiative, almost a movement within sport. They are here. And of course, we've got the man behind the tournament joining us to chat about this incredible journey and the life skills gained through this and what's going on here, because there is some magic behind the scenes. Sporting Chance's Brad Bing is going to share some insights that he's gained from this initiative that is all about the right kind of legacy. So I'm going to give, because it's been a while, a big round of applause, please, for Brad Bing. Good to have you back here. And we will applaud our netball champions in just a moment. Mfuleni, putting your hand up at Brad. Congratulations, buddy. When you bring us little surprises for studio, woo-wee, buddy, that is quite a trophy. Wow.
This is amazing.
We love it, man. This is amazing. When we talk about sporting legacy, as I understand it, as you've explained, this stems from a 2010 legacy where you had to take all of that passion around sport, football, and create a program which worked incredibly well with the street football, an easy link to now connect to netball. Take us back to the beginning. How did street netball kind of evolve to this amazing trophy right here?
In 2009, the World Cup was sold to South Africa on two components. One, there had to be a legacy.
Yeah.
The second one was Mr. Mandela had to be involved. Yeah. Mr. Mandela was involved, and the legacy, if you remember in 2009, there was the Confederation Cup. Yeah. There was no legacy in place. We then got a phone call from FIFA to say, could we meet? I met with them, and we put together a street soccer program involving 8,000 children throughout South Africa in 40 township communities throughout the country. And when the Netball World Cup came to South Africa, a legacy had to be left behind because it's an African World Cup. And obviously, left to the last minute, we got a phone call to say, could we put together a legacy? Hence the street soccer concept, we just put into a street net, just obviously just
like fire.
Great blueprint for these things is when you generate this, it means you can plug in any sport, pretty much, because that's what you've been doing. And naturally, you're going to get so many people connecting to it and being impacted by it. I know that with this particular initiative, there was something like 800 girls, 8 different countries as well. I mean, this is huge. And in this inaugural event, the impact that it's had thus far, are you happy?
Absolutely. We run a program like we've done. Yes. We ask the community's feedback. And the one program that got 100% response, positive response,
Yes.
was the actual life skills component that was implemented. You know, we focused on GBV. We know,
Yes.
we know that. We know that crime is not great, and we need to get on top of it.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we've brought into the Sporting Chance programs, Carl. So, but getting back to your question there, the huge important thing, there are 3 key components.
Yes.
There's you need access to facilities.
Yeah.
We know that the access to facilities in our communities are limited.
Yeah.
So it's obvious. The facility to soccer or cricket is the street.
Yeah.
So we've obviously got to get permission to close down the street. That's what we do. So it's a very simple concept, but it works.
It works because it plays to the bigger picture, but it also plays to the individual, the young girls that are entering into the system, to see other star players, to play with players, to play in a social connection within a team. There are so many layers to the life skills that are developed. What difference do you see, even in the short time of a tournament like this? If we take Umfuleni, for instance, what does this mean for girls in that team to win a trophy like this through this process? What does it do for the players, do you think?
It's not only the players, Graham. It's the inspiration they've given to the whole of the Umfuleni community. That is huge. I mean, you can't buy that. So the inspiration they've given, the lovely thing about it is we've also teamed up with Pumza Maweni a couple of years ago because she's a superstar.
Yeah.
And she created a foundation, and we helped Pums to actually launch the foundation. So any child that has played in this tournament, we obviously identify as a natural talent, and we feed that into Pumza's foundation. And then she obviously, because of the superstar status,
clout,
she then takes it to another level. So the whole thing is there's a very, throughout our programs over the last 33 years, I've got a very strong process to our programs. So we start off with humble beginnings, and then we take the people through right to the top.
Literally to the top tier of the sport.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
Well, I just want to applaud you and Sporting Chance and your entire team. What you always do is create these initiatives that have longevity. And they're not flash in the pan with you. I believe in this man's sustainability, and when you create something, it has a proper impact. So salute you and Sporting Chance for that.
Love you, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we obviously, with it having been an African Cup, we obviously want to expand this right throughout South Africa.
Yes.
We only did it in the Western Cape because we only had sufficient money for the Western Cape. And obviously that's where the World Cup took place. But you know, it's got legs to go right throughout the country, like we did with soccer. And I don't think people realise how the South African public bought into the netball World Cup. It was unbelievable. You just had to go to the fan parks to realise how magnificent it was. And the city of Cape Town were outstanding.
Yeah, man, just keep them coming. Keep them coming, like a 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. Keep them coming to South Africa. On the shoulders of what you and your amazing team are doing, we might just get there. But I think we have to heap some praise on the players themselves, the champions of street netball in South Africa. Umfuleni have been shining bright. Congratulations, team.
And they're here.
We are excited now. We're going to get moving and stay motivated this morning with our special fitness segment featuring the dynamic street netball champions from Umfuleni. And we're going to be hopefully discovering some of their secrets to staying fit and active while having a blast on the street. We have Coach Ayanda with us. My brother, how are you doing, my friend?
Good, thanks. How are you, sir?
Good, good, good. I've done a lot of different types of workouts throughout my life, but never something like this. So take me through what are the key aspects when it comes to street netball that you guys are looking at?
We look at the basics of netball, and then like the fitness. Like we always like do the passes and stuff, like in order to get our team ready.
And I can only imagine that something like this, a discipline like this, is very fast-paced. You got to be very explosive as well with this kind of exercise.
So yeah, we do the agility a lot. Unfortunately, we left some of our equipment, but we do the agility to help them to be quick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you can do a lot with these simple cones on the floor. All right, my friend. Yes. What's the plan? What are you going to take us through?
So we're going to do like a
zigzag. We've got some of the team members here as well.
Can you join girls, please? So this is what we're gonna do.
All right.
Move in between the cones.
Okay.
For the agility like that.
Righto. Just get that footwork. All right.
Yes, it helps them with the footwork when they pass the ball when they are running. So it helps them to prevent to do the footwork. You know, when you do the footwork in netball, then you're gonna be blown for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it helps them for footwork.
All right, girls, Scott, go away. Let's see. Let's show me how it's done.
Okay.
That's it. Light on the feet. Light on the feet.
Wait.
Nice.
Okay. Now we'll put the ball in.
Righto. Okay.
Now what we're gonna do? We're gonna use the balls, move like that, while you throw the ball like that, like that, like that.
While you are actually somebody throwing the ball to you.
Yes. So I need one girl. Go in. Yes.
That's it. Nice.
Next one.
So it's really about that hand-eye coordination. Okay, I'll go next. I'll go next. Where are these cones? It's almost like... Okay.
Yeah.
That was more nerve-wracking than I thought. All right, so that is another element.
So we do a zigzag. So you run, then at 90 degrees and catch the ball. Come.
Okay.
Catch the ball. Catch the ball. Come run straight and 10.
I need to what? Come this way and then that way?
Yes, that way.
Okay, I'm just working my space here.
Yeah.
How's that?
You need to jump, you need to jump. You're stepping the ball.
I see. Oh, look at that, like a jump. My goodness. Yeah. That's it, get
now
in there.
Now we're done with that, then you can actually go this way, but because of the space, you can't go that way.
Yeah, no, you need an actual space. Okay, Chianda, thank you very much for just giving us some of the basics. Really appreciate that, my friend. And well done to you and the entire team. Well done, girls. Making us very, very proud. Street netball, there we go. Something different, some footwork. This is definitely also something that you can incorporate, I think, in your daily routine, just to get that flow and that explosiveness going. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. That's how we do some fitness. Come on, let's go. Back and forth. Let's go. Yes. Quick hands. Quick hands. Quick hands.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso and S3, and it's time for the breakups, the prenups, and the local celebs rubbing shoulders with some of our international faves. It's what you pretty much need to be talking about this morning. We've got all the entertainment news wrapped up, and let's dive straight in.
Yeah, man, we love a little spice.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Britney's my girl, okay? Britney's my girl. I am of that generation. She has been through a lot, and it doesn't stop there. And, of course, the big news, Britney Spears and hubby of around 6 years, Sam Asghari, are getting divorced. And it seems like there are multiple reasons. It's going to take us a while to unpack this one, but here's weird lines. So Britney Spears and her husband, Sam Asghari, have now separated after an argument that involves allegations of cheating, after which Sam then filed for divorce. So let's set the scene here. Sam is actually claiming that Britney cheated on him with a house staffer, and then goes on to add, get this, and this is a quote, that he saw the video, and also claims that Britney had asked another house staffer to shoot naked video content of her. Now, we know Britney has been out there for a while now, so a lot of this actually flies, which is crazy. And reports went on to say, of course, that she has come out saying that she has been horribly hurt through this process. So she's obviously got an axe to grind herself, and that 6 years is a long time to be with someone, but she is not here to explain to anybody because it's nobody's business.
Okay.
Fairish game. It isn't anybody's business unless you're putting it out there on social media constantly, which she has kind of been. She's been very vocal and out there and very personal and wearing very little whenever she is doing it.
Yeah.
But, of course, poor Sam gets absolutely nothing. Massive prenup in place. He gets zilch from this. So his motivation for doing this cannot be anything other than what his heart is saying.
Interesting evidence, though. Consequential in that particular way. But that one, it's a bit messy, but that's how it's going to pan out.
Don't do a search for that now online.
Yeah, please.
Don't
do that. Next up is Kiki Palmer. And as you may remember, Kiki Palmer and Darius Jackson, there was a little comment that Darius threw at her saying that, oh my word, you're a mother.
Now.
You can't dress in a certain way. And this is... It's caused a lot of stir, and it should, because, I mean, how can you say somebody, you're a mom, you have to dress in a particular way?
For sure.
Kiki Palmer then clapped back and said, you know what, I'm going to just make sure that I get a message out there to Darius. And Usher and Kiki are now have a music video and a song together called Boyfriend. And at the end of that particular song, she does mention, I'm a mother after all, in the video as a little message back to Darius with regard to what's happening there. Just that you can't tell somebody they're a mother and you have to dress a certain way. It's not the way to do things.
Completely.
You're a person, express yourself. You're an artist, express yourself. Hello.
And you're not owned by anybody.
Not at all.
Okay, so no one gets to tell you any of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Usher continues to be in headline news for us, and with another South African connection.
Yes, DJ Zintle and Moosey actually took a trip and connected with Usher. Turns out that Zintle was being a bit too cozy to Usher, according to reports, because, of course, Zintle's with SA music star Murder Bongs. But, you know, naturally, it's going to be friendly because they're in the industry. They're both, as I said, artists. But obviously, any sort of tabloid would say, hey, well, they're way too close. This is what's happening. And I mean, come on now. Usher's a very busy person. Why would he just be rubbing shoulders too often? Why would he be that guy?
Yeah, man. I think he's just there to empower the women around him, by the looks of it, okay?
Yes, with the Kiki Palmer story, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. I love it. Now, we love a little spice when it comes to our top stars, because it means they are getting the headlines. They are out there. They are making waves, and we want that for our South African stars. We'll get into a little black coffee later on if we have the time. Another international connection there as well. But if you're tracking any stories that you want to find out a bit more of, let us know. Right now, we want to get into those hardline news stories and get up to speed with the news of the day. Then I'll touch on the sport.
It's hard to believe a whole hour flew past already, but it's on the dot, 7 o'clock. Let's take another look at your news headlines for your Monday morning. Starting off with your national news, the Minister of Electricity, Kosienso Ramakgopa, says municipalities in SA owe Eskom some 63 billion rand. Now, the top 20 municipalities account for 70% or 77% rather of that amount. Now, he says this situation makes it difficult for Eskom to carry out repairs when power stations and transformers break down. Ramakgopa said once the issue of load shedding was resolved, some communities would continue to suffer power outages due to failing infrastructure. Meanwhile, Eskom says Unit 1 of its Kuburg nuclear power station will be back in use in November after fueling and re-maintenance. Then President Cyril Ramaphosa says SA's foreign policy stance since the advent of democracy has made it a reliable diplomatic partner. Addressing the nation ahead of the 15th BRICS summit last night, Ramaphosa said the country was committed to a policy of non-alignment and would not be drawn into a contest between global powers. Now, he reiterated the call by the BRICS bloc for an inclusive global order. Now, the summit gets underway in Sandton, Johannesburg tomorrow. China's President Xi Jinping, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Brazil's President Lula da Silva will attend the summit, and Russia's President Putin will be joining remotely. Then over to international news headlines this morning. About 30,000 households have been ordered to evacuate in Canada's British Columbia province due to some 400 wildfires. Now, fires have destroyed homes in West Kelowna, a city of about 36,000 people. Meanwhile, California is bracing itself for Hurricane Hillary, which is sporting winds of up to 140 kilometers per hour and is predicted to reach Southern California, the first to reach this part in 84 years. Moreover, some 26,000 people may have been forced to flee a wildfire raging out of control on the Spanish holiday island of Tenerife. Now, it's the largest blaze ever experienced in the Canary Islands. And the leader of the military coup in Niger has proposed a 3-year transition period to civilian rule. General Abdurrahmane Chiani made this announcement after a meeting with mediators from the West African group ECOWAS. Strict sanctions have been imposed on Niger since the coup, and ECOWAS has ordered its support forces to be deployed if diplomatic efforts to restore President Mohamed Bazoum to office fail. Now, Chiani said Niger would protect itself from any form of foreign interference. He described threats to kill thousands of people as an attempt to create division between citizens. And we'll end up with this story, rather interesting as well. Meet the Tachymonoidus harrisonfordi. That's correct, yes. Scientists in Peru have named a new species of snake after Harrison Ford in honor of the Indiana Jones actor's support for conservation work. Now, the 40-centimeter reptile was first discovered in the jungle mountains of Otishi National Park, Peru's San Marcos National University has said, and recently which has concluded it was indeed a previously unknown species. Now, the creature is harmless to adult humans, has a yellowish-brown color with black spots, a black belly, and copper eyes. Now, the Tachymonoidus harrisonfordi is, of course, now named after Indy, as Harrison Ford has come to know as well, because he is just so supportive of environmental issues. I'm sure he loves this story and the fact that it was named after him. And that's what we have for you in terms of your news headlines for the 7 o'clock. Let's run you through another round of your sports with Graham.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's start with the big one. Spain made history with their first ever FIFA Women's World Cup victory. That as Captain Fantastic Olga Carmona's goal secured a hard-fought, pretty nervy 1-0 win against the Lionesses of England on Sunday. Crowd of nearly 76,000 at Sydney Stadium in Australia saw Spain's dominant display, creating chances, surviving a missed penalty in that second half just to compound the nerves. But the success certainly highlights Jorge Vilda's coaching and the Federation's determination enduring player challenges from the previous year. Undoubtedly, they earned this right, but what it means for Spanish football is massive. And then we turn to rugby now, because we can, and commencing their 78-day European Odyssey, the Springboks launched emphatically, dismantling a very inexperienced Wales team with 8 tries in the end for a 52-16 triumph, sitting at 24-9 at halftime at Cardiff's Principality Stadium on Saturday. So South Africa's largest Cardiff victory, in fact, surpassing the 34-12 win back in 2007, and witnessed their highest points in the Welsh capital, beating their previous best of 38. Certainly showcasing a formidable performance and a great click with individuals and within the system. So the Springboks now head to London, to Twickenham, gearing up for a crucial Friday test up against New Zealand. And we really will be using that one to fine-tune. Now, heartbreak in athletics as Akane Simbine's undefeated streak among world sprinting's elite came to a halt prematurely in Budapest's World Championships yesterday as disqualification followed a false start during the semi-finals. Absolutely gutted. Now, the South African, renowned for its rather slow starts but unbelievably high top-end speed, initiated a fraction too soon in the second semi-final. He joined significant casualties, including US defending champion Fred Curley and then Italy's Olympic victor Lamont Jacobs, who also missed advancement to the evening final. Now, someone who certainly was on it and used every opportunity opportunity and return to two wheels in motorsports, claiming a notable position. Brad Binder secured second place at the Austrian MotoGP yesterday. Italy's Francesco Bagnaia emerged victorious, and although Binder exhibited early vigor, he lacked the velocity ultimately to contest the Ducati for that top spot. And Marco Bezzecchi clinched third, completing the podium. Saturday's sprint race also saw Binder in second. Really was a great weekend for him, trailing Bagnaia. With these outcomes, Binder currently now occupying fourth slot in the season rankings. And I have a feeling he's still got more in the tank. We absolutely love that, but that's where we leave our sport for now. The roads should be waking up. Let's get you, hopefully, to work with as few incidents as possible. Carl's got the latest.
Let's get into some of the traffic. If you are heading to work, this is what's ahead of you. In Somerset West, there has been an accident, and that is on the N1 inbound at Hazeldean Drive. Please approach the area with caution. And then, of course, Chapman's Peak. Cape Town Chapman's Peak Drive has been closed due to weather conditions, so please plan accordingly if you do use that route. On this note, there are heavy outbursts of rain in the mother city, so please switch on your headlights, maintain a safe following distance, and do stay safe on those roads. Now, in Johannesburg, Edenvale, there is a stationary vehicle on the N12 west after Edenvale Road. The left lane is closed. Please pass by with caution. If you have any other traffic details you want to share, 063 408 8863. Always happy to hear and share as we get into weather. Right, weather news. Let's start you off. The SA Weather Service has issued a yellow level 4 warning for wind leading to difficulty in navigation at sea expected from today and continuing into Wednesday morning between Table Bay and Cape Agulhas, but from Cape Agulhas to Plettenberg Bay only on Wednesday. A yellow level 2 warning was issued for waves resulting in disruption of small harbours and ports from this afternoon between Cape Columbine as well as Plettenberg Bay, spreading to Alexander Bay by evening and persisting through to Wednesday. The Weather Service has also said that extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over Northwest Province, the northeastern parts of Northern Cape, most parts of the Free State, as well as the uThukela, Amajuba, Umzinyathi and Zululand district municipalities of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as over the Sarah Baartman and Chris Hani district municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Let's take a look at your temperatures to give you an idea as to what to wear today. Let's start with you. 14 is how you start your day. 30 is your max. Bombela 14 rising to a nice hot 36. Pretoria 15 to 30, and then Johannesburg you can expect 12 rising to 28. Mahikeng, you wake up to 8 degrees Celsius, nice and chilly, but you thaw out to 31. Klerksdorp even colder, 7, but you're up to 31, and then Kimberley a bit more chilled, 8 to 23. Bloem 5 rising to 23 today. Richards Bay 17 is how you start the day. 32 is your max. Pietermaritzburg a summary 31 for you. Durban 16 to 26 and Mthatha 8 up to 28. Montes London 11 to 26 today for you. Of course, Cradock, you wake up to 4, but you're up to 24 as a maximum. Gqeberha, you've got 10 to 21. And then George, some rain expected, at 80% chance of precipitation, 9 up to 19. Cape Town, the mother city, 12 to 16 with the rain in parts. Worcester also rain for you, 7 to 14. Sutherland, rain, but -1. Very chilly, 9 is your max. And then Uppington, you topped at 22, and that's from a low of 6 degrees Celsius. Those are your temperatures. Sunrise views, a touch of visual positivity, and that is compliments of you. Famida, let's start with your picture in Westville, showing off blissful pink tones blasting up the sky. It's like the Barbie craze took over the beautiful morning sky. Poppy in the beautiful South Coast area on the beach, showing off the waves crashing up against the rocks, looking like a National Geographic moment. I like it. And then Sarah from Gordons Bay, about to enjoy a walk with her dogs, feeling excited for the week ahead, no doubt. Look at that little moonrise in the back there. It looks great. Could also be a cloud. I'm calling it a moon for now. And then Arusha and Groenkloof heading to work, sharing this picture-perfect moment, gracious rays of light. And that does look like it was just a screenshot from a movie that I saw recently. It was an epic movie, so maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But if it was a good screenshot, I like the fact that you sent it over. Please send more. 063 408 8863. Any sunrise that starts your day will start ours too. We'd love to feature you on weather as we get on to more action for you on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wasey. We're going to take a very quick break. Stick around after the break. When we come back, we run you through everything you need to know around the Blisters for Bread charity family fun walk ahead of this coming weekend. And we're also looking forward to an epic performance of the incredible Noor Abrams. That and a whole lot more on your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on S3.
Crouch, Touch, but don't you dare pause, because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the Bucks are battling for rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Bries. So engage and win rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back to it. It's your fresh Monday morning right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, S3 Expresso. Let's do it. Next up, joining us this morning is Director of the Peninsula School Feeding Association, Britney Spears, to tell us about their annual family charity walk, Blisters for Bread, and we're super excited for it. The non-profit organization's main aims are to decrease short-term hunger, boost children's ability to learn throughout school feeding, and improve school attendance. Britney, it's wonderful to have you here. And I'm glad we're talking about this because, I mean, we've been walking a road with the Peninsula School Feeding Association, but I think take us back. First and foremost, identifying that need all those years back. How did it all start? How did it all develop?
Well, back in 1958, the government at the time decided to stop school feeding. And so the Rotary Club with several other partners came together and decided that they would form an organization, which at the time was the Peninsula School Feeding Association, to then address the need of school feeding. And what was meant to be a short-term stopgap is now 65 years old. And, you know, school feeding or children hunger is going to be with us probably still for a very, very long time, as long as we have this poverty gap that exists. And parents are struggling. And now you look at the situation in the country post-COVID and how families are struggling and just the increase in food prices. The need for school feeding is increasing with each and every day.
And you know, we can say it, especially in today's day and age where we live right now, like you rightly said, with the prices skyrocketing, it's very difficult, you know, taking a look at that minimum wages, you know, that people earn, to still think about food for the child. And we know we can't teach a hungry child, and this is the incredibly valuable work that you guys are doing. Let's chat about this weekend's event, Blisters for Bread. You mentioned off air to me that's been 55 years.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. How did this part of the Peninsula School Feeding, or this kind of way to just really help the association as well come about? Because it's something that I think a lot of people look forward to on a yearly basis.
Yeah. So back in 1968, 146 boys from Savio College decided to have a walk from Simonstown to their school to raise funds for the organization. And that is really where it all started. And from there, it has grown year on year from 146 boys who themselves, actually, some of them did the walk about 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Again. And yeah, here we are, 55 years later, and still going strong and hoping to get our numbers back up from where it was, because
obviously we all took a dip here.
Major dip, and when we kind of came out of it last year, we came out with about 2,700 walkers, and so we're aiming to try and get our 10,000 walkers back this year.
There we have it. Come on, Zanzi, get involved. So the event is this Sunday.
Yep.
We're very much looking forward to it. What can we expect? What's on the agenda?
All right, so the walk starts as usual at the Greenpoint Cricket Club. There's a 5 kilometre and a 10 kilometre walk. 10 kilometres starts at 7:45, and the 5 kilometre at 8 o'clock. So it's all along the Sea Point promenade when you get back. And there'll be lots of refreshments along the way for you too. And when you get back to the field again, there'll be performers. Noor Abrams.
Yes.
And we'll have Krista Jonas from The Voice, season 3. And then we've got this young man, Syed Phyllis, who's from Sarepta High School. And he's also going to be performing. So we're really, really looking forward to have everybody come out. Please, entries are closing today at midnight. At midnight today.
Okay.
So please get your entries in. And yeah, come and join us. There's going to be lots of activities for the little ones in the field too. So we'd love to encourage families. It's a fun walk. It's a family day. Put on those walking shoes and come and join us.
That's the beauty of this Blisters for Bread event, is because it is so focused on families, yet the goal is so much bigger, you know, and I really do hope that you get your numbers out there. Entries close at midnight today. Where do people go to find their entries?
So they can go online, www.psfa.org.za. It's 100 Rand to enter. Your 100 Rand is going to feed 31 children 2 cooked meals for a day. So out there, and yeah.
No, I always say, you know, there's so much that I think people want to get involved in, but with so much going on, we don't necessarily know where to start, and that's where organizations like you come in, and, you know, people like you, where we go like, well, here's an opportunity, and this is not only to have some fun with the family, but you can also do a little bit of good at the same time, which I absolutely love. Thank you very much, Britney, for joining us this morning, and I really, really holding thumbs that you will see those numbers. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Get your entries in right now, Mzansi. Like Britney said, if you would like to get your tickets, close at midnight, so jump on it very quickly, www.psfa.org.za. She also mentioned that there will be lots of entertainment in the form of Noor Abrams, who's also performing for us this morning.
And help us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer. As we go our way.
remind us where you are. Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our prayer.
When shadows fill our day.
When shadows fill our day.
Lead us to a place.
Guide us with your grace.
Give us faith so we'll be saved. For a world where pain now serves up will be answered. Wherever you lead us from, we'll be better. And we'll remember sweet voice of God's children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. We ask that life be kind.
We ask that life be kind.
Watch us from above.
And watch us from above.
When the stars go out each night.
When stars go out each night.
Remind us where you are.
Remind us where we are.
Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child. Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be
You see this? That's where I'm right now.
It's my feel good.
Well, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso here on S3. And the gents and I, we've been chatting about certain trends. And we're so happy that none of us have gone out of fashion.
Wow.
According to us.
Yeah, I even had to have a look at screen there.
You have to do it. He's still in
fashion.
Still employed. But let's go to those trends. You know, we are stepping into the world of nostalgia. You know, when trends come in, it feels like they're never going to go away.
Yeah.
And then they go.
Feels like this is the heat of the moment right now.
Yes, like we need to be a part of this. And then, bah, gone.
And
let's take a look
and you
at
can
those.
remember that angst if you weren't.
Yes.
And the hunger to be there, to be a part of that. Let's start with Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to come after me because I think there is a massive Pikachu following that kind of steps outside of space and time that will always be connected to this. But of course, can you guys remember Pokemon Go? The
for sure.
The insanity.
I remember the insanity as it came out. We still had a discussion on the Feel Good Breakfast Show about it and how many people are just taking to it because, I mean, we all want to catch our Pokemon.
I found myself driving to the Pokestop that was at a football club near my house to go and see, because next to it was I was like, what am I doing? I had to stop myself. Or like, I caught the Pokemon. But I had to go there. I'm like, but why'd I spend petrol to go to that spot to go and find this Charizard that was like right next to the Pokestop?
Nice.
Because it's a really cool Pokemon.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's good points.
You're saying nice to me. Thank you.
But it became such a thing. We even saw Ryan Reynolds, the most famous marketable person on the planet, with Detective Pikachu. And I enjoyed it. I am a very undemanding movie. I really enjoyed it because I love anything with Ryan Reynolds in it. But I'm just trying to think for an older generation to watch young people run around doing this without having context, how they must have thought, what they must have thought was going on. But hey, we got involved and we did it. Can anyone name that?
Pidgey.
Pidgey.
Yeah. I got into it.
Oh, you got him.
Proper into it, yeah. And can I tell you, gee whiz, the craze went viral, but of course there was something else that popped in. It had our heads spinning big time. I would like to ask, why were we into fidget spinners? Like, looking back, I don't even understand.
Okay, be honest. Did you carry around a fidget spinner?
I didn't carry it on. No, I didn't understand it. Back then, I didn't get connected to the trend, but it was in every goodie bag drop that we got.
Everything.
And it felt, because it was like heavy, it felt valuable, I think, for me. Like there was value in its density.
It's those ball bearings.
Like, I used to skateboard, so the notion of bearings was to spin. I've been there. I've been having that. But this was something else.
But maybe at a time of our lives we needed a little bit of distraction.
Yes.
That's why it took off that man. I don't even know. But I mean, I would say every single household at least had one, 2 or 3 or more fidget spinners. I mean, my boys were into it, and you know, I was just like, okay.
But look how satisfied that guy is just doing that. It's just so cool.
Are you getting back into the car?
I'm itching. I'm going to go into my garage and I'm going to look through all of my boxes of old stuff.
You just got back in.
You're just going to see me in the corner of the room going like this, but I absolutely love that.
No, listen, there's a lot. So let's quickly focus on plant-based foods. Okay. We just spoke about going vegan last week as well, and it's not the same story, but it still underpins the desire for people to live more organically and closer to Earth. So there's been this, obviously, a surge in plant-based diets, and because of that, it drove this development and popularity of innovative meat and dairy alternatives, reshaping the food industry. We've seen a huge spike in that as well.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen the prices come down yet. And I think that's part of the problem, is this has been very much a trend-driven trend. That hasn't been backed up by the big commercial kind of structures that underpin it. So if you're going to go do a deep dive down that route, there is that. But I remember interviewing Tammy Fry, head of Fry's.
Yes.
And they've been labeled as the vegan kind of... She's not vegan. That's not what she was trying to propagate. She was just trying to drive a more plant-based diet and add that. But there seems to be a cultural connection, an identity that comes with those sorts of choices that might be standing in the way of a lot of people making that choice or sticking to it. Is it going to stay? I think it kind of has to, because in the future we're going to need to be more plant-based.
So, but it has been interesting to see, you know, with obviously it's been a long road with, you know, vegan or vegetarian kind of lifestyles and food, how different technologies have been coming into the space and seeing how we can change it. Like you rightly said, I mean, I think we still have a way to go, but it would be nice to see those prices come down a little bit as well.
Maybe you can sell one of your NFTs and get enough money through that. Did you jump on that craze, my friend?
Hell no. Hell. Do you know how many people were compelling me? And I'm sure with you go to a braai, and there's always that one China at the braai who's like well off.
He's blockchaining it his big time, boy.
He's probably in debt, but he looks well off. And he'll tell you like, oh, blockchain. Yeah. No, just go for it, brother. Bitcoin, go for it. Do this. And he'll download the app on your phone. This is what happened to me, by the way. Downloads the app on my phone, says this is how you interact. Oh, you're going to make a killing. Just put 10K in, you're going to be fine. Okay, I didn't get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And then NFTs, I know that also significantly the prices of these things, it was exorbitant. I like the concept of the NFT thing a lot more than any of the other blockchain things, because I know that NFTs were designed to make sure that people get their worth for their art.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what was happening digitally, people were stealing everything. You could go to a site, they could replicate a piece of artwork, and you can have it up on your wall in no time as a print. People needed to be paid for that. So I think that to protect art and get people their worth, NFTs were very powerful.
Yeah. So I don't think the NFT is the trend. I think it was more the way that we grasped it as an asset.
Yeah.
Might have been where we had kind of jumped a little ahead of the game there.
I feel I was a little bit late with regards to finding out about NFTs. Because the first time somebody said to me, it's like, hey, have you heard about non-fungible tokens? I thought, like, dude, can you speak properly?
Yeah,
I thought
fungible. What is fungible? Like,
what do you mean fungible?
What are we talking about? Exactly. There should be a better word for it. But, yeah, I mean, but it's big. It's big. But, yeah, I missed the ship a little bit. Maybe I should start drawing something, because apparently you can do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's got to still be good to be valuable, man. We absolutely love it. We want more, we want more. And in fact, I'm going to put it to you guys at home. Is there something that's trending, maybe, or trended back then, like TikTok, for instance, that we all thought was just going to bomb and fade away after lockdown, that is still now bigger than ever? What are those trends? What is that flash-in-the-pan trend that you lived through that you'd like to see come back? Let us know on all of our social media platforms, or drop us a voice note, 063-406-8863. Is it fidget spinners? Is it the house party app? Scary.
Why don't we kick it off, though? Let's be a catalyst for a second. Are there those things, like for you, Ewan, that just came in?
No, I can't think of anything right now.
And?
I really can't.
I don't know if you're even allowed to do them in today's world. Garbage pail kids. Do you remember? You might be too young. Those cards with the disgusting, terrible pictures of kids in all sorts of weird states. You had like little skeletons and crazy things.
What?
And they went mad during, I think this must have been like early 90s.
Yes.
Late 80s, and it was a craze that the schools couldn't control. You would swap them, you would play games with them, throwing them on the field. It was crazy out there. Please, if anyone can remember Garbage Pail Kids, let me know. If you've got some of those cards, please show us.
What? Dude, Mix It.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember Mix It used to be like the thoroughfare for all of our communication?
Oh, my
I mean, I'll be honest, like Mix It was the gateway to connecting with, you know, ladies. But then it'll be like, but that's where that short form thing, like WCUTM, I remember what that means, you know. What can you tell me?
Okay.
Yes. You almost...
I was like, hey, buddy.
Oh, my word. And then, again, I'm hearing, you know how when a control room really wants to get a word in and they're talking to you? Tazos. Just said it for you. I know. Tazos is another thing that really, we collected them and it was wonderful. Do you remember Tazos? You do?
Yeah, I remember Tazos, but it's also in the same vein as like right now, I mean, just not long ago, the whole Pokemon card craze amongst the kids as well, and parents dropped a lot of money on it, and now I'm sitting with a whole bunch of Pokemon cards somewhere in the house that's never
Maybe
used.
you and I can have a little game, dude. I've got some prime ones, I think.
Yeah, I'm keen to learn, man. I really am keen to learn. So let us know, connect with us on social media about those trends, those outgoing trends, things that you think shouldn't be a trend anymore. We'd love to connect with you. That was fun.
It was.
That was fun.
What's overrated?
We're going to take a quick break now because we need to absorb all of this. And when we come back, we're going to be chatting to award-winning entrepreneur Pamela Mtanga. She is here, and we're also going to be running through what we think is overrated and overpriced. We'd love to get your input on that as well.
It's a long list.
It's a long list. We'll see you after the break.
Bake more memories and win big with a Taster SA and Royal Baking Powder. Watch the show every Tuesday at 7 and enter our competition by creating your unique own bake based on the weekly theme using Royal Baking Powder. On the competition post on social media using hashtag #TheTastemasterSA and stand a chance of winning a KitchenAid stand mixer and more every week. Unleash your creativity with the Tastemaster SA and Royal Baking Powder.
We'll see you in the Tastemaster kitchen.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back. Hopefully you are having a fantastic evening because that's often underrated, how you start your day, all right? But we are constantly bombarded with new things to buy, tech, fashion, food, cosmetic, cars, homes, that are maybe a little overrated. You can name many, and whilst it can be very tempting to think that we need to have the latest and the greatest, sometimes we just need to put our foot down and say no on the brakes. Yeah. Not on the accelerator, on the brakes. So today, our Money Matters chat, we are going to focus on that. Now, I want to find out more from the boys where they've drawn that line and what they find completely overrated and overpriced. Again, I don't want you to hold back here because we often do fall into these traps. So this is the first question I want to put to you. What is something super popular or common that you think is overrated and refuse to spend money on? Give me a prime example.
Well, there
I'd
we
like
go.
a prime example of
you knew
this, please.
exactly where it was going because just this weekend. Just
really?
this weekend. Oh, Dad, please.
Oh, your boy's in there. Oh.
Oh, gosh. And I'm like, really? It's like $40. I mean...
But we have had other energy drinks that were that when they came onto the market. They were 10 times as much, and we were like, because it's that, we're going to buy it. Because
but you know what? Why I feel the way I do about it is because I think there's just more of a hype around it than the actual benefits of the thing that you are drinking.
I don't think there's any benefit rather than other than a spike.
Oh, look,
in
the
energy.
bottle looks funky. It's cool. Yeah. You know,
can you reuse the bottle? Maybe?
Well, you know what? So that's one thing that I kind of just that's where I put my foot down.
Carl, you've been putting your foot down for a while now. You're a very responsible guy.
Yes.
Spend your money. Is there something that you've come across that has really eaten you up, man?
The pressure of people in our industry to drive fancy cars. It's always been there. For some reason, it's always like they look at my car, a little Mark 1, and it's kind of like, oh, is your other car at home, Carl? No, it's not. That's my car. So I just think that it's overrated for somebody in our industry to drive a fancy car because I'm not going to drive that into the MC gig, like into the theater.
Onto the stage.
Onto the stage. Look at me. I don't think your car should determine your value.
No.
And that's why I say that's why it's overrated. Like, I would love to drive a fancy car if it was something that you could really, it was affordable, but it's really overpriced at the moment. So I'd rather have my little Mark 1. It's paid off. I just pay for the petrol that goes in it. I'm happy.
There's other priorities. Simple as that, man. There's other priorities. Is there something that you used to spend a lot of money on that you've let go?
Oh, dude, it always comes back to, like, food in general is just so expensive, but I am a sucker for a good pizza.
Okay.
And I used to eat a lot, but it's gotten so expensive that I just don't do it anymore. I just don't do it often.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, seriously, I really do love a good pizza. Like, I love that. But I mean, it's just become, especially because if I would like it, then obviously the family is going to like it. It becomes like a mini holiday.
That's a thing,
with regards to what you're dishing out.
Yeah, I think it's in general. But for me, supplementation, I used to go crazy with subs. And I think as I've stripped down my diet and kind of worked backwards, I don't take a lot of supplements now. And it's like I realized that I have been, a lot of it, 99% of it was mental because it made me feel great. And there's something in that as well. But yeah, I think for me, I got swept up in a lot of the hype around a lot of those products.
How expensive are those protein bars?
They are extremely expensive, though.
That's a lot.
It's more than a meal, I get that. Is there something that you know is overpriced, Carl, but you deserve it, that you will spend that money on because there's some other factor?
Petrol.
I was about to say,
you don't have that choice, Boykie.
Let's put it on the table. Petrol is definitely one of them.
Everyone is on that for this moment. Petrol is at it. We need it to get around.
That's it.
Man, like, I wouldn't say that I don't mind spending money on it. I do mind spending on it, but it's one of those have-tos.
It's a grudge, yeah.
Razors.
Ah, is that why we no longer shave, you and I?
Yeah, that's true. No, I just found that razors are extremely... So when you get I treated myself to a lovely razor, but then it's a razor that has these changeable heads, and those things are super expensive. So you can go for like, the 4-blader, whatever that may be, but then when you want to add some more to the mix, it's like over $400, and I'm wondering why.
For the cheapest metal on the planet, yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
So I'm just, what?
Well, you think that burns you. Go and check the price of it, and I'm going to bring Pink Tax in here as well. Go and check out the price of a lady's razor, which is essentially the same bit of sharpened metal on a piece of plastic, dude. Oh, we are missing the trick here. We are missing the trick. It does beg the question, though, of you guys at home. What are you spending your hard-earned randellas on? And could you be making different choices, or do you spend somewhere where you know it's grossly overspending, but you love it anyway and you deserve it? Let us know on our social media pages. We absolutely love it. And, of course, if you're wanting a little bit of financial guidance, I'm not going to give it to you because you've got this short up. Carl, get out of here, man.
Okay, bye.
Enough of you. We don't want any more wisdom in this space. But you can go to nedbank.co.za. They've got a range of amazing packages like the My Goals accounts, which have some great incentives there that might give you the things that you would ordinarily, like movie tickets for me. I wouldn't spend the money because it's just so expensive. They'll give you 50% off at New Metro. And there are tons of amazing little itty-bitties there. So go and have a look. But right now, let's connect with another inspirational individual.
Mabel, check this. With a My Goals premium account, you get 12 free airport lounge visits.
12?
Yeah.
God, David, when are you busy planning the next getaway during office hours? Man.
And after that chat, it's time to chat to an award-winning multimedia entrepreneur, Pamela Mtanga. She's known for her amazing energy, her creative content, as well as hosted some of South Africa's biggest events. She is here to chat about her journey as a media personality, MC, influencer, and businesswoman ahead of her appearance on the Inside SA tonight. Let's say good morning to Pamela. Good morning.
Good morning.
Look at that energy. That's what I wanted. I love that energy. I really do. So Pamela, you've told us that you started your journey at MU, and I know that inside of SA we're going to unpack so many more things. But I'd love to know the start of your journey to where it is now. Take us through a little, maybe just a little nutshell as to how that's been for you.
Okay.
Okay, I think if we had to go back, I really grew up as an introverted extrovert, and I have always loved helping people. As a result, I thought I'd be a doctor. And when I got to my high school, there's a teacher who inspired me to be an electrical engineer.
Wow.
And I applied to be an electrical engineer in my first year. After the end of first year, I decided, I'd realized that I didn't like it, and then I switched to a BA Media Communication and Culture degree at the at Nelson Mandela University. And once that journey started, I was really on a quest to find out who exactly I am, because clearly I didn't know myself. So I told myself I'd try everything under the sun. So talk about radio, brand ambassador programs, just like being an MC on campus. I tried out so many things because I was on a quest to discover who I am. And then once I graduated from university, I went into, I worked, right? And I went into agency, and then I started doing activations. And from there, I started managing influencer campaigns. And from managing influencer campaigns, I was like, actually, I can actually do this myself.
Yes.
And that's how I ended up being an influencer. But I still continued emceeing and doing all the other stuff. So yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell, and how I got into working in this industry.
You did so well. I mean, that was the best nutshell ever, Pamela. But of course, now that you have a platform, what is being somebody in this particular space, what does it mean to you? That really great power of being on a platform where so many people follow you and they draw inspiration from you. You know, what does that mean to you, having that space?
I think the one thing I've always wanted to ensure that I use my platform for is for the better good or the greater good of the world. And I think what I have done is spread positivity on my platform. Never mind the fact that I am a PR graduate and I know how to handle myself from a social media perspective, but like I really, really do emphasize that me being on social media is to make people happy, or just me existing, my greater purpose is to make people happy, not to please people, but to make people happy. So if you encounter me in person, I want you to be happy because you encountered my energy. If you encounter me on social media, I want you to be happy because I'm making a fool of myself, or I'm chasing my golden retriever around the house. I want you to be happy because I was on stage and I gave a stellar show, you know, and that for me is really what it means. Through the work that I do with my foundation, which is beyond human nature, I also want to impact people in a good way. So I may not have all the money in the world, to get what I'm saying, but when I do something with the organization, I want to ensure that I make someone happy, I make someone's day, and I just like impact you in the best way I know how.
I love the energy. You're impacting me right now, and we are in a video call. So I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling the energy. And I know the Insider SA are also going to get a lot more out of you. Apparently, and I'm not sure if it's in the background, you got some painting skills that you've been hiding, don't you?
Oh, you want to get in that?
Oh, I want to get in there.
You want to get in that? I want you guys to call Pablo Picasso, Van Gogh, and a local, Nelson Magamu. Now that they have competition. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that is incredible, honestly. Pamela, thank you so much for your energy, your inspiration, your authenticity, and so much more coming from you this evening on the Insider SA. Have a beautiful morning, and we can't wait to see you tonight.
Thank you so much. I can't wait for everybody to see me on the Insider. It was really, really fun, and I was physically in Cape Town for that, and I cannot wait for everybody to see it. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, Pamela. Have the best day ever. That's Pamela Mtanga, and this is somebody who's so ambitious, intelligent, a stylish woman, certainly making waves in the media industry, and we thank her for bringing us along for the ride. So tell us what you are looking forward to seeing Pamela accomplish in the future, and do remember to tune in to the Insider SA this evening to join Pamela for a fun and creative experience that may include painting. Don't miss it.
Well, lots of energy. I love it.
I love it. She could join our team. She's part of our family. We absolutely love it.
For sure. Listen, we're going to take a very quick ad break. We are loving this Monday morning. Hope you're enjoying it with us as well. When we come back, we have another epic performance by the incredibly talented Noor Abraham. Stick around for that.
He's brought some incredibly talented friends as well. And then one of my incredibly talented friends, Leandi Durant, is going to be kickstarting her day with Kutle in just a moment. She is dynamic. She's doing so much on so many fronts, and she's just a wonderful human being. You want to talk about that early morning energy? She's got it, and we'll connect you to that after this.
It's my field.
Good morning to everyone in studio. Molweni Nonge Mzansi. We are coming to you live from Johannesburg today. Now, as you may know, for over 100 years, Kellogg's has been a trusted companion, nourishing South Africans and inspiring generations to start their days with the promise of greatness, leading to a healthy and more fulfilling life. So get ready to be inspired this morning as we are joined by the sensational actress, TV presenter, motivational speaker, Leandi Durant, who's here to share her journey of great starts with us. Leandi, good morning.
Hi, my darling. Aren't you enjoying the sun?
I am absolutely loving it.
It's nothing like a winter sun.
Now, Leandi, please take us back to the moment where you realized that TV, being an actress and motivational speaking, is your passion.
I was so blessed to actually grow up with a camera literally in my face. My late mother used to film everything that I do. Nowadays, I'm like, if there's not a camera in my face, I'm like, what's wrong? Where's the camera, you know? So that's the biggest gift, and I think that's when I realized I'm so comfortable putting up a show, playing little characters, being in my imaginary world, from a presenter to going acting out the soaps that I watched with my mom. And it started in high school. I just did like the plays, I sang on stage, and one thing led to the other.
I'm pretty sure she didn't realize that she was planting a seed that would later flourish and blossom into this beautiful, talented woman. Now, you wear a lot of hats. Actress, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, TV presenter. How do you balance such a busy lifestyle?
Oh my goodness. First of all, teamwork. You know, you need your people. It takes a village. But thanks to Google Calendar and the to-do list, because I'm such a list person, so I get so much gratification when I can go, complete it, complete it. So I think since I was little, my mom used to also be as busy as me. So I will prioritize and say what needs to be done first, what others, and I don't focus on something if I'm not busy with it. I think it's very important to try and stay focused, otherwise you can get overwhelmed, and just to prioritize your things. But it is something that it comes naturally for me. I know some people get very overwhelmed, and that's why I think my biggest thing in life that I always tell people is just be yourself. Get a vibe in your life that you are comfortable with. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. If you are fine with a busy schedule, you know how to handle it, do it, go for it. If you're not, then take one thing, make it perfect, and run with it. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to try and do things that we don't want to, but we think people expect of us to do. So I think why I also get things done is because I choose things that I enjoy doing. So it comes naturally, I get it done faster and quicker and better, and the stuff that I can't do, I give to the team, and they do it well. So it's teamwork.
I absolutely love that. You focus on what you can control and you invest your time in things that you enjoy and are interested in. So planning, prioritizing,
passion.
Yes. And teamwork makes the dream work.
100%. And people. Planning, prioritizing, people, and passion.
Oh, I hope you are writing that down.
The 4 Ps for today.
The 4 Ps of the day.
Yes.
Now, Leandi, you know that Kellogg's is celebrating 100 years of nourishing great starts. Do you have any memories of Kellogg's from, you know, your childhood growing up?
Oh, so many. And I just realized we have a 5th P, pop. Because in Afrikaans we call it pop, right? You call it cereal. No, just as I told with my mother, she was such an incredible woman. Every morning she would wake up like an hour and a half before us, and she will put all the different Kellogg's out for us. I was only allowed to eat Cocoa Pops once a week though. So that day of the week was my favorite because Cocoa Pops is my absolute favorite. I loved Rice Krispies. We even added like little banana slices in it. So that's a little hack for y'all foodies to put some banana slices in there. And I just love the granola now. More of an adult, I love the crunchy stuff. So what I love about Kellogg's is not only the memories that you know you create with them around the breakfast table, but that it actually nourishes you, it sets you up for the day, and that's it. They've got such a big variety.
How do you enjoy eating your Cocoa Pops?
Just with milk, but not a lot of milk. And it needs to be, it used to be warm milk, but now I prefer colder milk. And I will put like the bowl full, like heaped up, and just a little bit of milk because I don't want it to get soggy. I like it when it's like all crispy. I mean, I will even sometimes just walk past it and take a handful of it and
eat it. As a snack.
100%.
Now, what's your message for Kellogg's and celebrating 100 years of nourishing great starts?
I think first and foremost, I just want to congratulate them. You know, I'm a small business owner of to be, and I know what it takes to just have a business, and for a company to be able to have a business for 100 years, that is incredible and remarkable. I mean, the brand speaks for themselves. So may they continue to flourish and to nourish people. And not only that, they create memories. I feel they bring families together for that point in time. And I know my niece and nephew loves eating Kellogg's every morning before they go to school as well. So I'm even creating new memories, you know, with them. So it's cool to see how from my childhood going into my adulthood, a new childhood, it's just like full circle. So may they continue to do that and bring joy to families all over the world.
Thank you so much, Leandi, for starting the morning with us and sharing your journey of great starts. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have taken inspiration from your story.
Thanks, darling. Such a pleasure.
Now, in celebration of 100 years of hashtag nourishing great starts in South Africa, Kellogg's is giving you, yes you, the opportunity of winning your share of 1 million rands in cash. Woo!
Amazing!
Truly exciting. You do not want to miss out. To enter is very simple. Buy 2 of any of their qualifying products and dial *120 *2447#. Follow the prompts and enter the last 4 digits of your barcode. You have the opportunity of entering and winning your share of 1 million rands up until the end of October. T's and C's do apply and can be found on their website, kellogg's.co.za.
From a box full of goodness to a breakfast that keeps a nation going, here's to 100 years of nourishing great starts.
I love nourishing great starts with Kutle and Leandi. That was fantastic. And of course, congrats for 100 years. We love waking up in the morning with that type of start. So let's wrap up your news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And starting off nationally, Western Cape authorities say 166 of the 193 gang-related murders nationally occurred in the province. The release of the quarterly crime statistics show the Western Cape recorded a 5.5% reduction in the murder rate. Provincial MEC of Police Oversight and Community Safety, Regan Allen, says a number of areas, including Mitchells Plain, Guguletu, Kailicha and Harare, are of concern. Now, the Minister of Electricity, Josiencio Ramakgopa, says municipalities in SA owe Eskom some 63 billion rand. The top 20 municipalities account for 77% of that amount. He says the situation makes it difficult for Eskom to carry out repairs when power stations and transformers break down. Ramakgopa said once the issue of load shedding was resolved, some communities would continue to suffer power outages due to failing infrastructure. And meanwhile, Eskom says Unit 1 of its Coburg nuclear power station will be back in use in November after fueling and maintenance. Let's head on over to the international headlines. At this final election, his final election rally on Saturday, President Emmerson Mnangagwa promised economic growth and building a prosperous Zimbabwe. 80-year-old Mnangagwa is seeking a second 5-year term as president and has been on the campaign trail for the past month across the country's 10 provinces. Addressing thousands of enthusiastic supporters in Rugby, about 350 kilometers from the capital Harare, he said that ZANU-PF was unstoppable and that victory was certain. He also promised that he'd leave no one behind. Now, about 30,000 households have been ordered to evacuate in Canada's British Columbia province due to some 400 wildfires. Fires have destroyed homes in West Kelowna, a city about 36,000 people in population. Meanwhile, California is bracing itself for Hurricane Hillary, which is sporting winds of up to 140 kilometers per hour and is predicted to reach Southern California, the first to reach this part in 84 years. Moreover, some 26,000 people may have been forced to flee a wildfire raging out of control on the Spanish holiday island of Tenerife. It's the largest blaze ever experienced in the Canary Islands. The director of Center for Social Justice and Stellenbosch University, at Stellenbosch University, Tulia Madonsela, is to lead a fundraising walk of some 300 kilometers. The walk from Stellenbosch to Cape Agulhas spans 13 days and is aimed at paying off students' historical debt. The former public protector says the walk symbolizes the challenging path that some students must follow in their pursuit of education. Madonsela was recently appointed as the new external member of the United Nations Scientific Advisory Board. Madonsela, who has also scaled Mount Kilimanjaro, will be joining an esteemed group of external members from top universities from around the world. All the best to them, and what a fantastic cause that is. That's for your news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Let's take a last look at your sport. Here's Graham.
I have a feeling this story is going to have wings for the rest of the year. Let's start with the biggest story in football. Spain made history with their first ever FIFA Women's World Cup. And as captain Olga Carmona, Captain Fantastica goal secured a hard-fought 1-0 win against the Lionesses of England yesterday. So a crowd of nearly 76,000 packed into Sydney's stadium in Australia. And they saw Spain's dominant display, creating chances, surviving a missed penalty in the second half to compound the nerves. But a brilliant performance after a fantastic tournament, and the success certainly highlights Jorge Vilda's coaching and the Federation's determination, enduring some player challenges from the previous year, but they came through it with flying colours. Now we can turn our attention to the Rugby World Cup, and of course commencing their 78-day European odyssey, the Springboks launched emphatically, dismantling a very inexperienced and young Wales team with 8 tries, ultimately a 52-16 triumph. Half-time they were sitting 24-9 at Cardiff's Principality Stadium on Saturday. South Africa's largest Cardiff victory, in fact, surpassing a 34-12 win back in 2007, and witnessed their highest points in the Welsh capital. The previous best was 38, showcasing their formidable performance, and I think a lot of combinations clicking. The Springboks now head to London, gearing up for a crucial Friday test up against New Zealand at Twickenham. It is going to be a test. Now we turn to athletics, and heartbreak for Akane Simbine as his undefeated streak among world sprinting's elite came to a grinding halt in Budapest at the World Championships yesterday as disqualification followed a false start during the semi-finals. Very frustrating. The South African, renowned for his slightly slower starts but very impressive top-end speed, he initiated just a fraction too soon in that second semi-final, and he wasn't alone. He was joined by significant casualties, including the US defending champion Fred Curley and Italy's Olympic victor Lamont Jacobs, also missed advancement into the evening's finals. Frustrating indeed. Now we turn to two wheels in motorsports, the flip side of that coin, claiming a notable position. Brad Binder secured second place at the Austrian MotoGP yesterday with a brilliant ride. It was Italy's Francesco Bagnaia who's looking unstoppable. He emerged victorious. And although Binder exhibited some early vigor and had the pace, he lacked the ultimate velocity to contest with the Ducati for that top spot. And then Marco Bezzecchi, he clinched the third spot, completing the podium. Then on Saturday's sprint, also a hotly contested affair. Binder was second in that one, trailing Bagnaia as well. But with these outcomes, it means that Binder now currently occupies fourth spot in the season rankings, and he's only getting started. We love it. But that's a wrap of your sport for this inspirational Monday morning. Let's get into the traffic before we send you off to work.
Thank you so much, Graham. Well, the roads now fully awake on this Monday morning. Starting off with a quick update on Chapman's Peak Drive in Cape Town. Chapman's Peak Drive has now been reopened, so please go ahead and use accordingly. Be safe out there. Then Goodwood in Cape Town, there's congestion on the N7 South at the N1 inbound ramp. You can expect delays, and you can also just plan your morning commute accordingly. And in Westville, in KZN, there are roadworks on the N3 southbound at EV Klute Interchange. You can expect heavy delays, and please travel safely as well. That's what we have for you in terms of your roads. Right now, let's take a quick last look at your weather. All right, starting off with the South African Weather Service that has issued a yellow level 4 warning for wind leading to difficulty in navigation at sea expected from today and continuing into Wednesday morning between Table Bay and Cape Agulhas, but from Cape Agulhas to Plettenberg Bay only on Wednesday. Then a yellow level 2 warning has been issued for waves resulting in disruption of small harbours and ports from this afternoon between Cape Columbine and Plettenberg Bay, spreading to Alexander Bay by the evening and persisting through to Wednesday. Now, the Weather Service has also said that extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over Northwest Province, the northeastern parts of the Northern Cape, most parts of the Free State, the uThukela, Majuba, Mzinyathi and Zululand district municipalities of KwaZulu-Natal, as well as over the Sarah Baartman and Chris Hani district municipalities of the Eastern Cape. Right, let's get into your temperatures for the last time this morning, starting off with on 14 degrees, and you can expect a nice and hot 30. Overall, I think warmer temperatures expected in the region there. 14 degrees Mbombela this morning, reaching a very hot 36 degrees. 15 and a maximum of 30 for Pretoria today. Johannesburg starting off on 12 minimum, reaching a high of 28 degrees. Then we are checking over to Mahikeng, starting off on 8 degrees minimum, also nice and hot maximum of 31 degrees. Klerksdorp on 7 degrees, also there with a maximum of 31. Kimberley on 8 degrees minimum and a maximum of 23. Bloemfontein starting off nice and cold this morning, 5 degrees minimum, but you can see a warmer maximum of 23 degrees later on today. In Richards Bay today, you can expect a minimum of 17, reaching a maximum of 32. Pietermaritzburg on 7 degrees minimum, and your maximum 31. Durban starting off on 16 and a maximum of 26. Mthatha on 8 degrees this morning and a maximum of 28 degrees later on. We are jumping over to East London with a maximum, or minimum rather, of 11 degrees and a maximum of 26 degrees. Cradock starting off on 4 degrees minimum. Your maximum there, a mild 24. Gqeberha on a 10 minimum and a maximum of 21. George starting off on 9 degrees minimum and a maximum of 19 degrees. Then Cape Town, you can expect a minimum of 12 this morning. Wet weather as well, persisting with a maximum of 16 degrees. Worcester 7 and a high of 14. Sutherland on the cooler side of the scale today, -1 this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 9 degrees. Uppington on 6 degrees minimum and a maximum of 22 degrees. As a wrap for your temperatures, let's quickly take one last look at those beautiful sunrise views that you've sent us. Thank you very much in advance. Lucas, good morning to you out in Ladysmith. Stepped outside to enjoy, look at those tangerine hues. You can see the beautiful ombre effect in the sky. Looks stunning. Thank you very much, Lucas. Then Rowan from the Northern Cape. Beautiful. Snap this view as he drives to the mall. I can just see, like, look at that. The sun breaking through the horizon. Stunning. Thanks, Rowan. Appreciate that. We also had Wayne from Westbury, who shared, I think, a peachy shot. We can just call that a peachy shot. Wayne, I hope you wore your sunglasses for that one, my friend, because that is bright, it's beautiful, and that just makes you feel good, just looking at that picture. Thank you very much. And Demi, good morning to Demi, sharing a video this morning. Had a Manas Beach just around the corner. Look at that. Beautiful, calm waters, pretty clouds. That's definitely a movie painting, that's for sure. Thank you very much for sharing. Really appreciate it. Now we can start our day in the best possible way. Appreciate that. Continue sending those pictures to us, to our WhatsApp line. It's there for you, 063 408 8863.
Oh, thank you so much for those beautiful views. People cleaning their lenses right now. Just their phones, cleaning their lenses. We are here for the fads, we are here for the hits and the misses, and we're going to take a marketing turn now. We've invited in some big guns to help us work through some of the biggest marketing campaigns, successes and losses. Maybe Wrexham Football Club, and Ryan Reynolds pops to mind. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong in the marketing space, but we've got some epic wins and some spectacular failures as well.
I'd like to market Noor Abrams as well. Because if you want the best morning start, you should listen to Noor Abrams' music. And the great thing is, it's an automatic when it comes to Expresso. So as long as you stay there, you'll get everything you need. This is our way of marketing the show to you.
Direct marketing.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While battling for Rugby's great prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Prize. So engage and win Rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso, and this morning it's all been about trends, you know, what works, what doesn't work, and we want to continue that with a more, I'm going to say like a mechanical, technical look at trends. So digital marketing expert from Digital Fox, Sarah Heinz, is here to dissect the realm of advertising triumphs and fiascos. We look at impactful tactics to get your campaign to resonate with your desired audience, and we'll be unraveling the truth behind underrated tactics in the ever-evolving landscape of marketing. So if you've got a small business and you're looking to get out there, hopefully what we'll give you is some opportunities to take some notes and better your biz. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you for being here, because we love this place. There is so much happening right now.
Yeah.
And what I love about marketing, we seem to have transitioned into this real-time space now, where you've almost got to be tracking what's happening right now. Not yesterday, not a month ago, not what's going to happen. You've got to be in it.
Yeah.
There is so much risk when you're plugging all the resources that you do generally into the bigger marketing campaigns, and you hope, you're looking for the algorithm, the formula to make it successful. It doesn't always work out. in your mind, is there a playbook for what works and what doesn't? Because you obviously have to dissect this. Are you able to very quickly see in a campaign that's not going to work, this is going to work, or are there other factors in play? Break it down for us.
Well, if it was that easy, there would only be successful marketing campaigns.
Yes. Aha.
What often looks so straightforward in a boardroom, a lot of clever people on a table, isn't quite the same in real life. We all have seen campaigns firing back, huge backlash, campaigns being taken out of context. And a simple way to see if something's working or not is, for example, having a survey or presenting a campaign to a small focus group and having almost like a qualitative analysis, asking 5 people first before presenting a campaign to millions.
In a safe place, yeah.
Exactly.
So do you think that some of the flops of the world are people who do not look at the focus group and their market and say, hold on, Graham's campaign worked when he did that. We should blueprint that, apply it to ours.
It must work.
And maybe the product that we have is different from Graham's, but we think that that strategy would work for our product. We're not thinking about context. Do you think that's how flops happen, where they just look at the trendy viral campaign and try and emulate it with their own product?
That's correct. Some campaigns are just missing that creativity, they're missing the spark.
The genius,
and they're missing novelty. So anything that you have to bring out these days has to be new.
Yeah.
It's almost like a never seen before, and that's quite tricky. So you have to be really, really original.
There are so many different conduits now to play this out, and marketing almost seems to have inverted in the sense that individuals are so powerful now, and hence the rise in kind of very much focused marketing through sort of individuals within that social media space, things like that. That's great. But there are some tools out there that can help you that I think are underrated. And I think we often don't look at the creative essence because we're just ticking the boxes. But what are some of those tools that you've come across, those things that bring the X factor, those underrated tools in marketing that you always have in your little playbook, whether you're going to be open about it or not? There's things that you lean on. What are some of those go-tos for you?
I think one of them is emotive storytelling. So you really capture users' attention in the first seconds and you just really, really keep them engaged.
It's an emotion. Yeah, it's
Correct.
an emotion, yeah.
And also what really works is to share useful information. Be educational, share lists, share things that you would want to share with your best friend. And so that makes marketing helpful and useful beyond just wanting to sell something.
Oh, it's authentic because you're doing what you say you're doing. You're putting a product out there to help people, but then you're actually helping them, which might seem like a disconnect in marketing and advertising.
This is great, it really is. So you've given us some great mechanical tools here to be successful in marketing, but in the next couple of minutes, I feel like we need to look at the examples and get a more practical analysis. So Sarah, I don't want you to go anywhere. We'd love to unpack that with you in the next few on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. But of course, we did a marketing campaign for Noor Abrams. Remember that? Yeah, it was good.
We were spared no expense.
No.
And we got the product that we were offered. In fact, it's right here. We're going to pass it on to you.
Oh, baby. This world is nothing but crazy. I'm out here working, trying to make it. Girl, it's so rough in the city, and there ain't no resting for the way. So baby, feel me, I need something to feel, so my spirit can heal, babe. I need you to wrap them chocolate legs round me, so when I come home tonight, you make everything alright. When you come wrap them chocolate legs round me, 'cause the memory of my day will quickly just fade away, babe. When you come wrap them chocolate legs round me, please, baby, wrap them chocolate legs round me. Your cocoa she means to me. And when you come, wrap them chocolate legs round me. So when I come home tonight, you make everything alright. When you come, wrap them chocolate legs round me. Oh, baby.
It's my feel-good.
Talking about marketing. Welcome back as we reconnect with a digital marketing expert from Digital Fox, Sarah Heinz. We are so glad we have stolen from Germany and made our own here in South Africa. We love it. We have for the accent. That might go viral today in itself. But thank you so much for sticking around. We've been looking at the factors that make campaigns work or possibly falter. And we're going to take some real-time examples now with some great campaigns.
Absolutely. So, Sarah, we're going to take a look at these for good reason. I'd love for you to add where you think they went, you know, sort of in the right direction, and even where they went wrong. So the first one is, I'm not sure if you remember, that whole dumb ways to die. That was our first one, okay? Let's take a look at it first and tell me what you think.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Get toast out with a fork. Do your own electrical work. Teach yourself how to fly. Eat a 2-week-old.
So I was asking about Garbage Pail Kids earlier, and if anyone knew about them, clearly that particular animator artist grew up with Garbage Pail Kids as well.
All right, so for that, it is educational. It is trying to tell an audience to avoid certain things in order to preserve their life. And it's doing it in a very, very, I mean, comedic way, and even, you know, a bit of scare tactics. What's your analysis on Dumb Ways to Die?
So this campaign has done exceptionally well, but you have to watch to the end because otherwise you don't know from who the campaign is.
Yes.
It's actually from the Australian Metro Rails, and I wouldn't have known because you have to watch the whole 3.5 minutes, which is really, really long these days.
Okay. It is. Okay, so that could be a possible failure because a lot of people will love it, they'll laugh on it, they'll think it's comedic content, but not necessarily attach it to a brand. It begs the question, though, why we are so stupid that we have to be told this is how you could potentially die. Please don't jump in front of the train, which is terrifying in its own right. But there was a lot working for it. It was cute. It was really well executed. And it was funny. And maybe we're used to that. But how often do people want to be funny and think that there is a formula to it? Is that a great writer, great director, great animator? Where does the X factor come from in a campaign like that?
I think when it comes to humor, you really have to know your audience and you have to listen and watch very closely in order for you to find what's funny.
Because it's nuanced, hey?
Yeah.
It really is nuanced.
And there's a fine line as well between funny and offense. And
I think they crossed that line, but it was still funny, man.
Well, when the little thing's head popped off, when it's, that's crazy.
No, I'm not laughing, but...
Another example, Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, we know that this is to support, I believe it is ALS, and to ensure that the funds and awareness is there. Let's take a look at this one.
And after I dump this bucket of ice on my head, I get to nominate 3 new people to challenge. So I'm going to challenge Bill Gates, my partner at Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, and Netflix's founder and CEO.
I mean, if you're going to start with Bill Gates...
yeah, I mean, it's quite strong.
Yeah, you're coming out of the gates pretty hard, but we did it. There are very few people I know within our industry who didn't do it. Success, and why?
100%. There's nothing better than creating a global movement for a good cause. And it shows that more than $100 million have been raised for the cause, which is amazing.
Wow.
And also you're encouraging people to participate.
Yes.
And it's all about creating that sense of community, and it's a fairly safe challenge, so nothing wrong with the ice.
And you hero, everyone who's doing it gets to be that hero without going out there and saving the world. You're just pouring ice water over your head, but you get to feel like and be represented within the social media space like you're a lot more than you are just by doing that one. That's action to me. That's got to be at the heart of every marketing campaign is action, getting people to act on that. I love it.
Quick devil's advocate over here. I do think that people should have reminded people doing the challenge that it's not just about the virality of the challenge, but also it was for a cause.
Yes.
I think you have to, because it's like, hey, let's do this thing. I saw it on the internet, but it has to have the cause attached to it, which is vitally important as well. But let's move on to our last one, because this is, I mean, I think that, Graham, you and I are big fans of this guy, Ryan Reynolds and Wrexham. Let's take a look at this.
As the owner of Wrexham Football Club, I need to watch out for our players. I've been a star for a long time. These guys have no idea what's coming.
It's cold. Look, we got a big match coming up, and I know what you're worried about. Cybersecurity. How many of you have heard of 1Password? Really? Okay, well, how many of you have downloaded 1Password?
Don't say anything negative ever about Ryan Reynolds, please. Okay? No, is it easy when you're worth a few billion and you're famous and you're funny and you can pretty much do anything yourself? How much of the marketing brilliance of Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds, and how much of that is this brilliant marketing company and empire that he's built underneath him? Is it possible for one brand to be able to do everything that he's doing?
I think so.
Well, he's doing it, eh?
Well, it's an element of surprise. So when he walks in, you don't expect him to talk about cybersecurity. I mean, it's a well-executed campaign. It's brilliant. I'd love to see more of that.
And you will. I've no doubt we're going to see Wrexham being used for everything other than football for the next 10 years.
Of course.
And they're going to be rich.
But it's been so great to chat to you regarding marketing, what works, what doesn't work as well. So thank you so much, Sarah, and to your team at Digital Fox for joining us. It's really been great to venture into some of these campaigns so beautifully. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Lovely.
That was great marketing.
Right?
This whole process was
Digital
fantastic
Fox.
marketing. You know what you're going to get when you plug into this creative machine. Thank you so much, Sarah. Let's continue on that creative tip. I can guarantee you, I can put my head on a block. This next recipe is not overrated. Hopefully.
It's not overrated, my friend. It is, in fact, unbelievable. Now, we have a hero this morning that we are going to be using. It's the Ristica Coratina olive oil. It is exclusively available at Woolworths, and it is also an award-winning olive oil known for its fresh and herbaceous notes. And today, Chef Clem, the man himself, is here in the kitchen to make a delicious almond, clem and gold, and olive oil cake using this award-winning product, clem and gold.
It's a little bit of me.
How do you feel that the clem and gold has been named after you?
Honoured.
Yeah, it must.
And it's their 20-year birthday, so we're all just celebrating the gold that is Clem and gold.
The gold that is Clem and gold. I love it. Okay, dude, I like this. This is a completely gluten-free recipe and dish.
Not doing it because we're trying to be like all healthy. The cake just works so beautifully being gluten-free because you're using almonds instead of the flour. So it's not about being like all chic and trendy, but this olive oil.
That's the hero that I was talking about. Chat to me, my friend.
Okay, let's talk about. First you got to get that.
Okay.
But I mean, when you talk about award-winning olive oil,
things that get him excited.
Hey, it's the small things in life. This beautiful Coratina award-winning olive oil. Can you get so excited about olive oil, especially considering that when I grew up, don't be judging, trying to guess my age. When I grew up, olive oil wasn't available. It was available in a small little bottle from the pharmacy. How far we've come today as a country, as a producer, I said a bad word because I'm just so impressed. But the fact that they came back with so many awards from the EVOOLEUM awards in Spain.
You want to say that again?
It could be called the EVOOLEUM awards. But I mean, can I just read all the awards that they brought back?
Okay.
Here we go. Check this out. Okay. Best single cultivar, right? Best Coratina. We don't know. That's just what they brought home as well.
Sounds good.
Best green and ripe fruit, and best from South Africa.
Yes, please.
I mean, the scent is nothing compared to the taste. It's slightly grassy, it's herbaceous, it's slightly peppery, it's fruity.
Sure, that's fresh, eh?
It's so delicious, it's so beautiful, but you have to use it for a cake now.
Okay. I love the fact that we're using this for a cake because I'm sure that brings in just another element and depth of flavor.
Not just moisture, but the flavor as well. And it just the way it mixes with the almonds and comes together. Beautiful, beautiful.
All right. Well, if you want to get your hands on the recipe, I'm going to say it now. Taste.co.za. That's where you will get this recipe. Okay, so we got eggs, we got sugar.
Right, going in, and then we're going to go in with our beautiful award-winning.
Should I do this guy?
You know what you can do for me?
What should I do?
It's going to be very noisy right now, but you can work on our almond butter. So in there, you got some butter. You're going to add your almonds. They've been toasted.
Okay, these guys.
Here we go.
So just lightly toasted, okay.
Icing sugar goes in, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of maple.
Okay, got it.
So going in with a beautiful, I mean, look at that color.
Oh, that is beautiful.
They always say you shouldn't judge an olive oil on its color, but if it's pretty, it's pretty, okay? That's a vibrant color, and I love it. What's going on? It's not coming out.
There we go.
You know what?
Did you just give me an empty little bottle there?
Who would do that to you?
I don't know.
But can I also just say I really like what you've done, because I always say when the recipe says 1 teaspoon of vanilla, add like 3, and you did that.
I love vanilla, that's why. When I make pancakes, dude, it's one of my star ingredients.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
There we go. Okay, gonna give this a good mix. Now this is supposed to be creamed until it's pale and fluffy, okay? We're not gonna have that much time because at home, it should, especially during winter while it's quite cold, it takes a little while. And in summer, pale. Are you winning? Okay.
There we go. Come on!
Other people, one thing about you that no one knows.
I know, right?
Your career would be over.
It would be done.
Your career would be done. Okay, cool. So that's going to keep on going, and it's going to end up being that beautiful almond butter over there.
I feel like we need a little bit more moisture in here.
You can add...
Can I do some maple syrup more?
You can add a touch of olive oil if you want there. We're going to go in with our almond flour.
Pass me that rustica over there.
There we go.
Come on.
Okay,
let's make this.
Baking powder goes into the cake. This is like going to give you that little bit of body, that little bit of lift. Again, there's no flour in here, which I absolutely love about this recipe. It just... Not because cakes with flour is not my favorite.
Yeah.
With almonds and with the oil that's added, it just retains that moisture and it doesn't go dry.
There we go. That's a nice thing.
And there's no gluten because you can keep on mixing. You're not going to develop any gluten because there's no flour in it.
There we go. Look at that.
Fine. Yes.
Yes, it's coming. Now it's working. Come on.
You want to make this cake? You do. Okay, cool. Right. Then.
Okay, that looks good.
Then, dates. There we go. And when last did you have a date?
Oh, it's been a while. I love dates, though.
There we go.
Okay, listen, I'm just going to make sure there's a little bit of a taste test going on here.
You do? Dates go in a little bit of that Clem and gold.
Ooh, that's
a little bit of amaretto to pump up that almond flavor. A little bit of salt. There we go. Mix, mix, mix. That into your bake. I suppose, what happened to my almond? There we go. Open this for me.
This one. Here, got it.
Here we go. So like I was saying earlier, you can over-mix this batter if you want. There's no such thing as over-mixing this batter.
Because of the almond flour.
Right. You're not going to develop any gluten.
Okay. So here we have it. A little bit of flaked. You know, if you really want to like mess up people's opinions of you, then you say almonds.
Or salmon.
Salmon and almonds.
It's not almond and it's not salmon.
It's almond and salmon.
But you know what? It's Monday. We love everyone.
Yeah. If you use almonds in your kitchen, it's fine. It's good.
What I learned recently, words that phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
This is a phenomenal cake, and I'm telling you, you're gonna want to make it. Hey.
Listen, hey.
And when that person said I didn't laugh, I was like, I take that.
You know what?
Be phenomenal.
It's almost like you want to just explain how phenomenal it is. You know what I'm saying? Because it just gives that extra punch. Okay, so do we do this on top?
A random scatter. This into the oven. It comes out beautiful. Hit it with a little bit of icing sugar. This is a cake that gets better the longer it sits. Okay. So you make it today. Tomorrow's going to taste fantastic.
All right.
On Wednesday, it's going to taste phenomenal.
Okay, so if you know your tani is coming tomorrow, make it today.
Make it today. It is so good, so easy to make. When it comes to baking, you can see not a lot of ingredients, but what the result with that beautiful caratina olive oil is fantastic. So what you do is you cut a slice, a little spread of that butter.
So you will serve. I know. How's my little guessing mince?
And you got it right with the extra liquid that you needed, which is the extra maple.
Yeah, and you get that olive oil flavor in there as well, which is nice, eh?
Ewan.
Sous chef, here we go. Come on, I like it.
You got to make this cake. Get the recipe on taste.co.za.
That's the one. And you would now obviously serve it just with a little bit of this on top, or how would you do this?
Yeah, a little slice. You want a slice?
Why not? Why not? Come on.
Panics to find a knife. Doesn't find a knife. Finds a little palette knife. Oh, there we go.
Oh, look how beautiful that is.
A little bit of that butter.
Yes.
How are we going to do this?
Yeah, I've got a knife here.
There we go. That's for you. Just a little touch on that. Look at the denseness, look at the moisture, look at the flavor. Everything's a little crumbly. You can see the dates in there. You know that the Clement Golds gave it that beautiful perfume. You know the olive oil kept in all that moisture. You know the almonds did their thing. This is...
Okay, I'm sorry. In, just like this. Oh my goodness. No, you got to do this. Oh, that's amazing. And that's it. What is that? A mini spatula?
We're done for the week, because this is how you win on a Monday.
No, we can go home now. This is good. Thank you, dude. Cheers. Listen, really, it's impressive. It really is. Taste.co.za. Try it out.
Yum. Delivered
so
fresh
good.
and delivered to today. I don't know. Hopefully.
Would it be delivered to us, though? That's the question.
So we've got another little superstar, and I stress the word little because he's really young. Sadie is here to perform and blow you away and probably make you cry just a little bit. Part of Noor's amazing team, and we cannot wait for him to grace our stage again.
And then, of course, overrated cosmetic surgery. You know, it's all the craze at the moment, and yes.
Come on.
Thank you. I'm grabbing this one over here.
You have to.
I'm gonna
stay there.
Just tell me what you think.
What is on top? What is the nutty, buttery?
That is just heaven.
Yes.
Yes.
What
Thank
is
you.
it?
Oh, my word.
Do it like this. Get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
my feel-good.
Welcome back. Overrated. We've seen a lot. Why are you pointing at me, man?
No, you said the word overrated. You're not overrated.
Oh, no, we've been trying to come to terms with it. When it comes to plastic surgery, less is definitely more. Okay, unless you want to look like a celebrity in all of the wrong ways. Now, some celebs, the likes of Madonna, have had a little bit of work done and some botched surgeries along the way. Black China, Kylie Jenner spoke out about how they regret having some work done. We have seen some very notable and those that have gone under the radar as well. So today we're going to focus and take a look at some of the most overrated and, quite frankly, quite unnecessary cosmetic surgery. And I know we are playing in a psychological space here when it comes to a lot of the more extreme. So please, we are doing this with some license today. We are looking at the trend thereof, not the psychology behind it. So please be very aware of that.
And I must say, some of these I've never actually heard of. You know, when I found out about these at first, I was like, my goodness.
You could look like a great elf, man.
You think so?
With a bit of ear cropping.
You think so?
Got you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Because ear cropping, it is a thing. It's also known as elfing. Yeah. It gives the ears a pointed shape with a pronounced tip. Excuse me, by removing tissue. That's exactly what they are doing. And this procedure is rather favoured by the members of the cosplay community.
I think he went in for a broken nose and they got the note wrong on the thing by the looks of it.
Elfing.
But what's wrong with the one on the left? I mean, the one on the left looks like somebody...
No, there's nothing wrong.
Somebody who'd listen to you.
Yeah.
Then...
I suppose I get that stream. When you've got lugs like mine and my boy, and our lugs stand out there and they glow bright red when we get angry or upset.
What are you talking about?
Come on, they're beautiful, man. They're my assets, dude. But yeah, so I can get how people would want to streamline their profile, but yeah, maybe a little excessive.
No, look, I get
necessary.
I get that's where, especially with the ears, you know, if one lopside a little bit or something, then there's ways to say, but elfing? I mean, yeah. Anyways, moving along swiftly.
All right, next one. Palm line surgery. People who believe in palm reading but aren't happy with their own lines now have a way to cheat their fate. Palm line surgery uses an electric scalpel to create artificial palm lines that promise more money, love, and happiness. This trend is more popular in areas of the world like Japan, where news outlets report that women primarily request a stronger love marriage line and men request a more prominent line. So this is how far it's come. Change the lines of your hand.
I think they might have missed a trick somewhere along the line. It's the other way around. I think it's the other way around. Now, I get that. We're all looking for a totem, a reason, something to cling to, and we oversimplify. That's just the way we are as people. I understand that. Palm line, cool. I want dimples, yo. I want some dimple plasty, okay? So if you're born without the adorable indentations that we know are dimples, don't worry, we can do it, okay? So dimple plasty, I hope I'm saying it right, creates an artificial dimple by making a small incision on the inside of the mouth, placing a suture between the muscle and the skin of the cheek. It's virtually indistinguishable from a natural, virtually I say, from a natural dimple.
Dimple plasty.
I don't understand what you mean. You got lovely dimples. You got the dimples, man. Oh, look at
he's got that little...
Oh, he's got little dimples.
Stop it making...
I bet you there's a person going to walk into a plastic surgery to say, I want dimples like Carl Wasties. Like that.
Thank you very much. That's it. Shoo!
Can I have the Wasties?
Oh, no.
Please, can we have the Wasties?
Give us a little dimple there. Come on.
I can't right now. But let's keep going with another one. Polka-tox.
What? No.
Polka-tox, okay.
Explain yourself.
Wow.
Okay.
Polka-tox. Okay, Polka-tox. Use Botox, facial filler injections to manipulate the facial appearance of gamblers. The goal is to eliminate a poker player's towels or expressions that would reveal whether they have a good hand or a bad. For example, upon receiving a card, he doesn't like a poker player, you know, like raise the eyebrows. Strategic injections of Botox will prevent that from happening. So
how is this different from just your regular visit
acting like you're from a Botox?
For normal Botox.
Presumably it costs more because you've got poker money. I don't know. Hey?
Maybe. Or do they inject more?
Maybe there's just specific areas that speak to the tells, you know? Can you tell what I'm thinking right now?
So you can go like, I want Polka-tox, and yeah, that's the thing.
And then you can go a degree of strength. So how bad is the card that you're seeing? Oh no, it's a 1. And then he goes like full and you say, I've got a straight, but I don't want anyone to know. Then he just puts it everywhere. On me, if I get a good card, that's when I have to worry because I get like a little puppy. I'm like, oh, my tail wags, literally. I would need to just be like comatose to play poker. I think I'm like the worst poker player on the planet.
We got one more that we want to chat about. That's foot fillers.
Of course.
Finally. So we know this. High heels have infiltrated the fashion world, and sky-high styles are particularly popular. I don't know how sometimes, you know, the ladies manage to walk in.
It'll break you, yeah.
It's a talent. It really is. It's a skill. But although trendy, high heels can wreak havoc on the feet. I mean, for those of you, we know we've had high heels on the show before.
Yes,
it's not comfortable at all. So women opt to put dermal fillers, you know, injected into the balls of their feet to add a little extra cushioning.
You do that in the back of your head, so you just can sleep anywhere you want. Hey?
Especially if you travel a lot, right? And you have to, no, but that's the thing. So I didn't know about this. I really didn't. Dermal fillers for your feet.
As much as I know we're saying all of these are unnecessary.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll get to a point in my life where I need a little extra padding somewhere or something.
Different with those things.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Yeah, like I say, this is a safe place. I know we are talking about some extreme things that you can do to your body, so please just keep your head about you when going through this list. We know that some things are completely overrated, and we'd like to hear from you what you consider to be overrated, but you might still just do anyway. That's what I want to hear. Let us know on all of our social media spaces.
Absolutely. And I think we need some more talent on the show.
Don't be excited about it, though.
I won't. Okay, I'll be as serious as possible. Talent's coming up. We've got Sadie. Hi.
I failed.
Don't forget, Business for Bread is where Sadie's performing. So please support Business for Bread and Sadie.
Yeah, his excited face right there.
Not excited at all.
I know there is hope in
this man's got a voice, eh?
Oh, and he literally is only getting started. And if that inspired you, we want you to get out there and move. Blisters for Bread is going to be happening. They'll be kicking off from Stephen Way in Greenpoint just for 10 kilometers. And of course, Noor is one of the superstars, and he's brought his whole family along to support them as well. He's going to be performing. He'll perform again on our show in just a moment. But you can head to psfa.org.za if you want to get tickets. It is a movement with an incredibly good cause behind it. Please go out and support. Let's fill some hungry bellies.
Yeah, like Patrina said, it's the 55th edition.
That's amazing. It's a movement.
Year. I got a whole history lesson this morning from her. It's amazing what they've done over the past couple of years. It's an incredible initiative, and this is a way for you to get out there with the whole family. Just go have some fun, but knowing that you're also doing something so good for the children of South Africa. Absolutely, and I know that you're also very keen and connected with that space. So you know the
Don't
impact.
put it on me now. You made it now. I have to go and walk the 10K.
Come on, man.
Also, stick around for Lach of the Day and more performances right here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Crouch, touch, but don't you dare pause. Because when you buy any of our favorite Clover products, keep the till slip handy and catch the Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more details on how to enter. While the box are battling for Rugby's greatest prize, you can win your share of 80,000 rands worth of Weber Braais. So engage and win with Rugby's greatest moments, brought to you with love by Clover.
It's my feel good.
Oh, welcome back. One last time. It is a Monday morning, so let's beat back those Monday blues and get you giggling. And here is a look at today's luck of the day before we send you off to work.
I so need to try that.
What a great strategy.
I have never done that before, I promise you.
Whatever.
No. So, you know, it's fun. Family fun, man. Family fun. You got to keep it fun and interesting and have a lach together.
Okay, but don't blame us today. Well, I think we need a little bit more music.
Let's go. Noor Abrams is standing by with Krista, so make sure you enjoy this one. You Feel Good Breakfast Show.
songs forevermore, evermore, evermore. It's gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift. I bet you sing it proud, and I bet you put it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be alright on the night shift. If you found another home, I know you're not alone on the night shift. Oh, you find another home. I know you're not alone on the night shift.
Jackie, say what you're doing now.
Another feel-good production.